screen. I have 2 books for you, for Bridget.
Yes, she'll give them to me.
Oh, excellent. Already taken care of.
They're in my backpack.
Hold on, everybody.
And we're well past this, but I was quoting Seinfeld unknowingly. That's what
Oh, really?
There you go. You got it, everybody.
Got it.
Seinfeld. It's when those 2 guys jack the armoire from what's his name? Kramer. You have to know every single Seinfeld episode randomly in your
I
head.
mean, I pretty much
Wait,
knew,
no,
but it's been a while since I've
I didn't hear the first part of that.
Elaine gets an armoire, and then she's like, I can't move it in. So Kramer is like sitting on the sidewalk watching it for her, like for an entire day. And these 2 dudes come up and they're like, oh my gosh, this armoire is beautiful. And they start taking it.
Stupid shot.
Yeah.
Oh.
It really is, but it gets to
It was
me.
like,
Every time.
oh yeah,
Every time.
Mark might have books for you to pick up for me. And then she's like, but if you want to forget them, and then we all just have to hang out, that's okay too.
Yeah, we were texting about that. So,
Yeah.
we both
We
encourage it.
should, maybe
I've been
some
seeing your show
meetings
every
and
time
all
I
that
come out,
together.
you guys
Yeah.
were complaining about a jacket. So many episodes in this. That's so much.
There's a lot about that jacket.
Anyway, all right. Sorry.
Multiple jackets, actually. There's so many jackets in that show.
All right.
Oh.
So we'll get underway here. Welcome back, Joel.
Hi, everybody. I'm here.
Hey,
It's been so long. I've missed you all.
You have been missed. Wait for this time. Oh, there. Let's get that cat noise.
I don't think there's anything left.
gotta make sure though.
Is that Shell or a cat? Or Drew? Talking to a cat.
Yeah. Big conversation happening without you.
Yeah. But anyway, I think the last you were with us was just after the party escaped from the archival bastion.
Mm-hmm.
You
With
were
all
online last
parts
week, right?
intact after a little resurrection magic, at least.
Mm-hmm.
With one of you having lost their head in
Yes.
the process. But you guys escaped with bodies and memories restored, it seems.
Thank God.
One of you also, in that resurrection process, had a little encounter with whatever dark.
Patient. You're done.
Yes.
The frenzy needs to calm down. But
The end of nothingness asked for their brother back.
yes, exactly. Nazira, upon arrival, identified Pesha. Don't even think of that. The place. Sarah, even was really funny because Sarah's such a D&D nerd and such an extensive lore. That like I was describing, like bringing Sarah like up to speed of like archival bastion. Sarah was like, "Well, it sounds like we're in the plane of negative energy." It's like, yes.
It seems like it.
The zero knows.
Yeah, exactly. So it's convenient
So
that
does Sarah.
Sarah's playing such a wildly intelligent character who has
Also.
all of esoterica.
Yeah.
Indeed, you guys had found some sort of portal, and the archival bastion was a small space of weird temple, ruins full of leaf loops, and it was suspended above what seemed to be the annihilatory maw that exists somewhere in, the multiverse. Outside, largely, like beyond the realms of like the common understanding, as Nazira explains to you all once again, the various weird esoteric of the planes and their arrangement and like the various like models of understanding them. Places, most of them place this plane outside or beyond even the heavens, beyond the reach, perhaps, or the touch of the gods themselves. And something there had kept a strange shrine to forgotten or long information of knowledge of the world from long ago. But you guys escaped, and were soon after attacked. The party found themselves up on Shippy, up in the clouds, and out of seemingly nowhere, an invisible creature of gargantuan scale, a Dracolich, attacked Shippy and attacked the party, as well as delivering some sort of nullifying or dispelling and constricting weird bloodroot thing, or not bloodroot, I was calling it because that's a thing, but bloodthorn or bloodvine. This weird necrotic magical artifact or the spell that was made or something. But in any case, it caused Shippy to fall out of the sky rapidly. And oh, didn't you? No.
I was here for the end of last.
Yeah, that's right. You were here for the end of the fight. That's right. I was just like, wait a second. I've explained some of this stuff.
You explained, yeah.
I don't need to explain.
You don't need to explain it all, but you
Everybody knows
can.
what's going on here for the most part.
It's a good review.
Yeah. But you guys were able to fight off this Dracolich with the aid of one Ivan Heavensong, a haughty hero hailing from Loomis and part of Topple. Oh man, I wrote it down, but it's so long. The Order of the Preservation of the Living.
That's right.
Who also died in the fight. Now you guys are in the aftermath of that battle. The Dracolich having fled. Activating a high-level spell that Nazira identified as contingency that meant that this creature had taken enough damage that it felt its security, perhaps its safety, its life, or perhaps just the inconvenience of having to reform itself after its mortal coil is destroyed again as a lich. In any case, it fled rather than be defeated or delayed any further, perhaps. But the question remains to you all. How did such a thing know exactly where to find you, as you guys had arrived here very shortly? Like, you guys did fall from the heavens, but you did so over the bone wastes, which is, canonically often covered in various types of not fun atmospheric phenomena, as well as necrotic clouds and stuff like that.
You mentioned something of a siege of Loomis.
Siege of Loomis.
Loomis?
He's going to Loomis to wake up his darkly master. That bastard.
Yeah.
One of the
Ventric
Lord
of
of
the Dark
Ardenna.
Star pursuits. Or Ventric of the Dark Star?
Prince Ventric of the Dark Star.
Prince Ventric of the Dark Star.
I think the Dracolich gave the full title, the Undying Prince, Weaver of Souls, Master of Mortals, First Prince of Loomis, Inheritor of the Earth, and Vanquisher of Death, Prince Ventric of the Dark Star.
Wow.
You heard that name before?
You guys have not heard the name Prince Ventric before, but you've definitely heard, like, Xeron's like Dark Star. Uh-oh.
That's a
Yeah.
prince that we know of.
He did. I just had to check my messages. I'm like, yeah, you know
Stay
what?
shut. Stay down.
The Dreamers are trying to hit me up. Probably has some info for. I'll get back to him, but like, I'm not.
I thought he had been talking to you.
Yeah, I've been getting pinged ever since we left that zone of negative energy.
Isn't that like exactly what you wanted?
No.
He's got.
Not when I was busy.
And I mean,
I thought you've been mad this whole time because the dreamer hasn't been talking to you.
Yeah, but I've been busy.
Tayron,
What? Things have been happening.
Props for ignoring those
Yeah,
bastards.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Fuck God.
I was busy.
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm thankful, but also, I can't take a call in the middle of a fight.
Where's that?
Can't take a call in the middle of a fight. I say as I wink at Malin.
He's still here? Of course, I see him right
I
there.
can kind of, maybe.
There?
I don't know, maybe.
I'm dedicated.
The shadow,
I feel like-
faces you see,
Yeah.
but then, no one else does. Unless,
Yeah.
you invoke some more magic or whatever.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I know where he is, even if he's not fully visible.
It's just to,
Sometimes you just gotta
Remember?
ignore those
it's just to
gods.
remember. I feel like she was the one shouting at me regarding her brother. And wherever I was when I was dead, I had to make a deal to find someone's brother.
Whose brother?
You and sister remember. I don't know. There's a
Sure.
lot of tossing ideas at the time.
I wouldn't trust her.
Yeah, I don't.
We
I
just
didn't-
were in her realm of icky.
Yeah, I didn't have a choice at the time. It was kind of do or die wherever I was once my head had disappeared.
Oh yeah. Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. I'm back.
Again, sorry about that, everybody. That was not how we wanted that to go down.
No,
Now that we're in a moment of peace,
it's all right. We got out.
I was coming back out,
I know.
but then you all came in.
You guys were gone a while. Those doors had to come off. Hey, listen, it's bygones. We're good. We might have to think about Shippy though.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, Shippy's a little flustered.
Shippy, are you okay?
Yeah, she says, "Hi there. Sure feeling a lot better now that we're not being attacked anymore by such a monstrous creature.
Yeah, Shippy, that one blindsided us. Sorry.
You and me both, friend.
So,
I hope we can go and kill it soon, so it doesn't do that to me again."
I'd like that. Just let's get you repaired though, huh?
I feel like that's if the Dark Star, if that Lord gets woken up, we're really fucked. Like that's one of the only things holding back the rest of all of the terribleness that are the Necrarchs is that they don't have a leader at the moment.
I think Xerox says, "I think I have the conversation I need to have with the Dark Star Prince about this. But I think we should not dally much longer before addressing this. It sounds like time is becoming more and more.
Yeah.
Yes. And by addressing it, you mean just taking the wand of Orcus? Because I don't know of any other way to address.
I do.
Okay,
I
good.
mean, traveling to Loomis, finding out what really awaits us there. Whether a city under siege or a city of light and hope, which for some reason I doubt. But in either case, I think it is our duty to take that wand and do as that champion of Elmater suggested, and destroy it.
Really been putting that one off for a long time. It's been a long week.
It's been a long.
So sad.
I should probably find myself some time to pray, meditate a bit, reconnect.
Yeah, could use some recovery.
If we do head
Long
straight there, how long would it take us? Shippy? How far to Loomis?
Anywhere in the world in a day.
Oh yeah. One problem.
What's that?
If we get into another fight,
We need to heal
Shippy's gonna
first.
get fucked.
Shippy needs to heal up first, and I think we were feeding it some blood root
Well,
to help heal
Nazira
faster.
shit.
Nazira was waffling on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she said she
Some
was,
gate was given, yeah.
I think she There's some.
Yeah,
What if we just
have
kept-
like 50 HP or something?
What if we just kept Shippy out of harm's way then? We focus on Shippy's
Or
recovery,
100.
but we insert from the ground instead of utilizing the air.
I
Just keep
mean,
Shippy and horses, something else, some other
you
mode of
could
travel.
park Shippy at Mount Anaru and then teleport. When we know Shippy is away and secure, somewhere trustworthy.
We need 2 teleportation spells that day.
Yeah.
If we teleport in, we have
need
to
to be able
teleport
to
out
teleport
the
out for
second the
sure.
wand is touched.
Yeah. For sure.
Like, immediately.
You'll know the.
Does Nazira have enough spell slots to teleport twice?
If we long rest, we should.
I believe so, but we'll talk with Nazira about it when she's
Oh, she's
rested up.
back in her stupor. God damn it.
Yeah, she's
Spells.
recovering.
We know we
Arcane
can't.
recovery is a messy
It's
process.
yeah.
I'd say Shippy right now is
Especially after
the
a day
most
like that.
pertinent short-term priority. Let's
Team Diner.
we can go to Inaru. Let's go to Inaru, dry dock, and then figure out an insertion method
I'm also
for whatever, an infiltration method, whatever. Wherever we're going, where are we going?
You got it right. I'm
Well-
open to figuring out a good insertion method.
Whatever.
we do have
Horses. I haven't been on a horse in a while. You know.
Not an ideal insertion method.
probably not.
Yeah, come to that.
So
I know your horse.
On target. On target.
oh, there's some
Focus.
stuff we know about Shippy.
Oh, you found it?
No, well, some of it.
Didn't we
Like
lose
the-
The-
like 200,
different
200 hit
stones?
points? on
Ah,
Shippy?
yeah.
That's a
It's high,
good
right?
Yeah, we lost like
document.
most of it. He's
Um,
bloody beyond
was it
repair.
recent
Yeah.
discussion. We also learned about the bitter clasp forge,
Mm-hmm.
but at this point, I'm not sure we want to venture straight into another place that Lucas told us about. The Verdant Forge and the Thunder Forge.
Any of these places can dock shipping for repairs?
I mean,
I think we're headed into danger. In
I
anyways.
like your idea of keeping him in Inaru.
Yeah.
It seems reasonable, leaving him up there. We can find a way.
Whatever's clever then.
We'll
long
confirm
as-
with
long as
Nazira
Shippy-
that has the spells, but I think that's a good plan.
He could come back and at least focus one way.
Okay.
Me, yes, I could, but also Nibbles.
Shippy, you've been around though. You know of any good locations for you to get repairs other than Inaru if it meant a shorter journey?
Nowhere here in the Bone Wastes, nowhere nearby.
Anywhere in a day.
But anywhere in the world in a day.
So anywhere farther away than nearby.
The other place that
Mount Inaru would be pretty close to the same distance, effectively, in terms of time.
Can you repair yourself there?
I can repair myself anywhere.
we
I'm an
should-
interplanar pleasure yacht.
there's-
Go ahead.
Well, I have two thoughts. First of all, we got found so fast. I'm assuming the Whispered Litany sent the Dracolich to find us using her scrying or something to tell it where to go. Do we have any other reason to think that it has other means of tracking us?
Who's the litany? Or
Well,
the dragon?
The Dracolich. Do we think it's going to come back
I
soon?
mean, we're fighting an entire Imperium that is full of all the shit that could find us anywhere, I'm assuming.
So adding more cloaking would be helpful but expensive.
I mean, tomorrow I can make it so that they can't find us while we're on Shippy. At least on one room of Shippy. If they just look for Shippy, then,
They still find Shippy.
I mean, and anytime we're not inside of that one space in Shippy, they could find us.
Yeah, that's helpful. My other concern is that I received word that my father has been compromised. and the Whispered Litany is using him in Pasa.
You've kicked over some stones.
So,
You've kicked over a good amount of stones. Should be.
so Linville Trading Company is no longer safe.
Man, you shouldn't have handed out all those cards.
Yeah.
Should be
Hopefully they all have my name on them. So hopefully.
Good point. Solid.
Should be Piner is the best spot for you to get repaired. Let's head there now. But if you can repair yourself effectively without having to go back there somewhere that you would consider safe. The thing is, I don't think any of us can, unless someone knows, a better place where you can go where you won't get jumped by an invisible dragon. Let's go there so you can start your repairs.
That's very thoughtful, Co-Captain Tayron. I think that I can continually regenerate myself regardless of where we go.
Okay.
I have a very limited awareness of what is safe and what is not in the world. I've been hidden away for a long time. So I think that it might be best if you guys let me know what you think would be safest.
Inery sounds good.
Amiru is probably our safest harbor.
Let's go see those lobotomites.
We're gonna have to stop calling them that.
Yeah, give them names.
I think they
Anarini?
had names.
Anarini? Well, yes, they have individual names.
We'll ask them when we get
Ironites?
Irunians.
Irunians.
Ironians?
Ooh, I like
I like that
Irunians.
one. Ironians.
Can I look at our topple friend's body?
Yeah.
It's got some runes on that shit.
Yeah.
I recognize any of those
absolutely.
bad boys.
You see this body of this well-oiled and coiffed man who, despite being completely obliterated by this dragon, still seemed to manage to die in a, handsome pose, with face and hair still intact, and a little bit of just like a rueful smile on their face.
Like a velvet painting of a dead matador.
Yeah, that's beautiful. As you approach, you can definitely see that they're well equipped. They have like a variety of weapons on them. Look like they, were a dual wielding type, which I think is how I've built them, but now I can't remember. But that's how I've equipped them for this. They're wearing just like some like leathers over what looks, immediately to be a very, obviously like very likely like magical mithril breastplate that is just emblazoned with a bunch of runes on it. You see like a lot of like the leather stuff has runes and stuff as well, and also like these, the topple like lettering like in a symbolism like all over it as well. And as you approach, you hear the voice of Ivan Heavensong. It seems we were not quite as victorious in battle as I expected, despite my best efforts. Would you be a good ally, comrade in battle, and revive my pilot?
Pilot?
Yes, the dead man wearing me.
Same idea. Oh my gosh. Are you a piece of armor?
I am not merely a piece of armor. I am Ivan Heavensong, devoted warrior of the light, vanquisher of darkness, scourge of the undead. You all have acquitted yourselves well enough in the battle. Who do I have the pleasure of whose mercy do I have the pleasure of being at?
Talks over all of them very loudly.
The big help
No.
organization
It's
of
no,
heroes.
our enemies all know our names. It doesn't hurt if somebody else does.
Heroes, yes. It's fine. It's fine.
A motley crew of ass kickers.
Oh, I like that.
What? I'm
A
on the
motley
crew of
crew of
ass
ass
kickers?
kickers. I mean, you're
Well,
not at our mercy. You're not at our mercy. It's fine. Do you happen to have the requisite diamond components? Because Revivify is pretty
I can
expensive.
compensate you with the gold that is you've already taken off my pilot's body.
We haven't taken anything.
No one took anything.
I believe
We
that
did not
you.
take
I'm pretty sure you guys took.
We did
like-
an account.
Oh, you didn't account. That's right.
We did an
yeah.
account. We took
That
nothing.
that you have found on my pilot's body.
Is there anything special about this pilot?
Very little.
Very little. He seems
The
a little
most
old.
impressive thing about this person is their willingness to subvert their own interests for the greater good and allow me to wield them as a weapon against the darkness.
Were they a very good person? Spiritually.
I have little interest in being the judge of common folk. I am a destroyer and vanquisher of the heroes of darkness, not a judge.
Can you define heroes of darkness?
The 5 Necrars are first among them.
Sounds like we have a common enemy. To be sure.
I cast Revivify.
Wait.
What?
I think that this guy did also. I think I misspoke. Because Revivify, I don't think is going to do it. Yeah,
Okay.
I think I clarified last time that
Yeah.
like the whole like claw like through the body and stuff. There's like
Oh, he has a
definitely
full
such
resurrection.
damage
Oh, that's
or
right.
Organ damage.
The meat piles we had put together.
So,
he
I
has
think-
assembled
Okay,
some
yeah.
meat piles.
I can't.
Ray was offering to do the one where you might come back in a different form.
Yes, that would be
Oh.
most advantageous. It might be a superior vessel.
We have some humans here that may or may not be.
Don't want to volunteer something.
I'm not volunteer. They may or may not be willing to put on a suit of
You
armor.
will not be able to remove me from this pilot.
I very well see pieces of that pilot most places here. I don't have to remove much of anything.
Oh, yeah, the magical breastplate. How am I going to judge this?
He's dead.
Yeah. And also, I'll have to say, I think the claw, like the magical breastplate, is still intact. It's like a very powerful magical item that wasn't just squished. So like the claw of the dragon must have like gone in through like the top.
Scoop that all out of there.
There's just like some damage.
That's the
Yeah.
he could have been face down.
The
when he
esophagus
was
is
back.
a
Yeah, it's like-
immediate
Yeah,
access point.
yeah. I think I've described
Really,
mutually
everything makes
exclusive,
sense.
descriptions of the fate of this guy, but we'll just
Well,
mingled, but
and
there's
if he
still
was
this
like
magic
stepped
item,
on,
so-
he was probably squished, and then
Yeah,
you know,
definitely
breastplate's not gonna
squished.
It'd be nice
stop
if
squishing.
Ellis could have some magic powers and could fly shipping, you know?
I don't know if we want.
Or any of the
Ellis-
other ones whose name I don't remember.
I mean,
I
You
am
can
no
ask Ellis,
mere
but
crew
Ellis
member or
may not want
pilot
to
for
sign
your
up
vessel.
for. Yeah,
I am the
I don't
blade, the tip of the spear against the darkness.
I was gonna say I don't think Alice is gonna have time for flying her ship if she's running topple.
A lobotomy or two might save us. Material. Fine. You can revivify him, that's fine.
Well, Revivify is
Or
it's not Revivify because this has been over a minute, and we're gonna need something else.
I
So
do clearly
Right.
also possess several magic weapons that are additional payment should you be.
Yeah, no, there's
Self-interested enough.
no question that we're going to make this happen. We're just discussing the means
Mayloon,
do it most wisely.
can you heal this guy?
Mayloon, can
The
you put on the armor?
reincarnation would be most adequate if that is the most immediate resurrection model available.
How do you feel about dedicating yourself to Mayloon?
I am dedicated only to the
Yeah.
destruction of my enemies.
Mayloon can help with that. They're a very powerful up and coming god.
You are a better apostle than I am.
Here, start reading this material.
I got a deal.
Excellent work.
I got a deal for
I will
you.
need you to read
Yeah.
material to me, as I do not possess
Sight.
the capacity to read.
I'm a little busy, but here, Leap Loop, can you read this to him?
I'd be delighted.
Excellent. We're gonna go work on.
Reincarnation. Hey, Gray. What you
Just
wearing
the
this
sheer
time?
like volume of Leap Loop's voice is like gives you all the cover you want to like discuss like separately away from this guy
Yeah.
even on the deck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we're okay. You feel like we can trust this human being?
I think
But what else could be said about mystery and shadow?
our interests are aligned enough that it
Let
makes
me
sense
tell you.
for him to continue to be a force against Dracolich and the 5 assholes.
Yeah, but does anybody know anything about these people? I've never heard
Have
of
I ever heard of
Topple.
Topple?
I think this is something that's so local to. I mean, there's such a slim chance. I'll let you take a history check. Yeah, I think you can take a history check. Beep boop. You have a sure.
I mean, I'm proficient in history,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but I also have a -4 penalty to everything, so I'm trying not
You
to
can
roll
do it
too
as
much.
well. Like
anyways.
you've lived, like you've been.
Yeah, my
unstuck in time.
brain
It would
is scrambled
Yeah.
between Nas's drugs and me being just temporarily shifted all over. Like I take a -1 on all history checks. I'm good.
I'm also
Fair.
good at I'm proficient in history, but I rolled kind of poorly, so
Oh.
15.
You know what?
11.
I'll give the new die a spin just for the sake of it. 5.
I'll say that with a 15, there's one thing that what was his name? What's his name? The guy that who helped you locate where Shippy was, give you the lead on Shippy.
Oh,
The
dwarf?
No, the dwarves. Yeah, who pointed you
Philip
towards
Amon?
towards the dwarves. Man,
That was Philip.
so many characters. No, there was a Vocenti.
Vocenti.
Vocenti
Vocenti.
was, he worked before he became, a wanted man. Worked in some capacity, like in like logistics and stuff with the Imperium, and like was like basically found out that the Imperium's interest in the bone wastes were like they were going after like all these artifacts and old relics and stuff, and they were like at this point like not really doing like meaningful like campaigns against the undead or anything. That's like was not really what their priorities were, and like he knew about General Hartkill and like had that connection as well to Xerox and such, and understood what was going on. But like I think that maybe there was like one just talking shop with Vicenti because you have a lot of like overlapping proficiency expertise and stuff.
Yeah, I probably would enjoy chatting about
Yeah, just like he's
trade
talking about like the
groups
black
and how to
market
get things
for
around.
like
Yeah.
exotic relics from the bone waste and stuff.
Something a little beyond the scope of wood trading, but fascinating and
Yeah,
certainly not like an unheard of thing to know about.
yeah. He describes how like one of these like absolute like assholes and monsters that were working for the Imperium in kind of the same like veins as Vicenti, and were just like enriching themselves and stuff. Like one of them like thought they had like this big score because this like weird guy like ran afoul of got like a bunch of the Crusaders, a bunch of these like Gwengold Imperium armies folks, and they fought and killed him, and like there was like some stuff that like came across his desk as a result of it. He was gonna like he found this like thing that was like covered in runes. It was like indistinguishable. Like you remember like you've heard through this like topple like until like this I even like said it out loud, like said the whole thing. You had no idea what it was, but like just like heard topple like in all these runes, and then as the guy was like counting his eggs, the thing just disappeared. and he's like always just like, this asshole's just been like the big score that got away. And I was just like so frustrated, like didn't
So
thoroughly
you
like.
shared about this whole
Mhm.
experience. So we think that this Topple was anti-Imperium in that scenario, fighting it in some kind of insurrection or something in the Imperium.
It's unclear if like the Imperium like they could make an enemy out of anybody.
Yeah.
But this and it wasn't clear from what Genty said that like it was a little bit like euphemism, like the guy said was basically just communicating in a way that like shit happens, we kill whatever we want and take whatever we want out there. Who cares like what the details of the context of how the
and that happened out in the boneways.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll share that with my friends that Genty heard something about this. Do I get the sense that well, do we get the sense that Topple is just this pseudo armor bent against evil, or is there more forces that go with it? Do we know?
From what I haven't saw, I mean, I don't think you know from that, like, just weird, like,
I mean, I'll
after a
ask.
couple drinks, like,
Yeah.
thing that what Genty said. But I think with what Ivan Heavenson said that that he was like an agent or like of this organization, but not like he is not encompassing of that organization. He's just out there as a warrior.
Okay. As Gray gets the spell going or gets ready for it, I'd like to chat with our Topple friend Ivan a little more and just see, like, ask a little bit. Tell me about Topple. We're going to get the reincarnation spell going.
Leap, you can stop. Leap.
And furthermore,
You can
Moon itself,
go plug in.
secret relations
Go
with
plug
the time.
You're almost out of battery. Go plug in.
Yes.
Go.
We can get
Yes.
to this later.
Come on. Let's go. Let's go. I'll take him downstairs.
I got it. You guys are probably better off getting this spell ready. I'm gonna actually lay down and get a long rest started and reach out to the Dreamer. I know he's been just hitting me up on Discord nonstop. I gotta hit him up. So.
Here, take this with you, and I hand him a piece of wood that I've cast a spell on that has made play a beautiful tune. Just take it with you. It'll put you to sleep. Dream music, as I call it.
Dream music.
Dream music.
I go and get it.
Perfect for the agent of the Dreamer.
Peep goes back, is taken back down to like the workshop and start, or Leap Loop. Leap Loop goes back down to the workshop and starts working again on like trying to figure out how to turn or activate the rescued other Leap Loop creature, and work on the figuring out how to access the core memories of the other one that was excised.
That's probably kind
Yeah. But back up on the deck, you have Ivan Heaven's song, the seemingly sentient armor.
Yeah.
Still there.
Okay. Ivan, we're gonna work on the reincarnation as soon as Grace setting up the ritual here. I was wondering if you might be so kind as to tell me a little more about Topple.
Topple exists for one purpose only. To win the endless war against undeath.
To win the endless war against undeath?
Yes.
Wait, that's Torn? No.
Topple.
No, it's the god. Torn is the god from death, isn't he? No.
Orcus.
Orcus. Okay.
Orcus.
Long ago, the first vampires were born into this world. They were not, at first, evil,
Right.
but they sold themselves to Orcus. They gained great power through that betrayal. They brought the evil of the Necronomicon upon the world.
They did that.
But
Yep.
this was bound and secured in a secret place in ancient times, secured, kept in a physical form so that its influence would not yet again creep into the minds of the waking and the dreaming alike.
Telepathically,
I'm walking away.
telling you he
I'm
has
walking
not
like farther away
Yeah.
than I just.
Make yourself invisible, group.
You don't
My knowledge
say.
is indirect.
The couple has existed almost as long as the betrayal of vampires. My family was one of many killed, devoured by the vampires. And in my rage and in my might, I became something eternal, unsleeping, unyielding, a weapon wielded by those incapable of defending themselves, incapable of offering anything to the fight like this pilot of mine, transforming them into mighty weapons against the dark.
We've, well, many in our crew have killed our share of vampires as well.
Some of us are vampires.
Though I will say, we've encountered a few who are not so evilly bent. What say you to that?
It is believed to be impossible for vampires of this new age to be anything but bound by their desires to drink blood, to consume the flesh, to gain in power and vainglory. The age of the innocent vampire has passed. That is the belief of Topple, not the belief of the city of Loomis.
Yeah. How do you reconcile those differences of beliefs?
We do not. We remain ever vigilant against betrayal, even in the city of light.
And are you based in Loomis?
That is where our power resides, yes. And where I will return. My return must be as immediate as possible. I have learned much in my battle against Sak-Izel Kalziz,
That was the Dracolich.
the endless scourge, and
What was
my
that name?
mortal foe.
Sakisu?
Sakizo?
Sak, apostrophe, Izal, space, Kalziz,
Yep.
known in the common tongue as the endless scourge.
The Endless Scourge?
Endless.
Endless. Scourge. That's a word I don't understand.
Fucking coward.
S-C-O-U-R-G.
That's better. That was what I was
Cowardly dragon. Sorry.
Yeah.
It does have a television show. Sak-Isal, the Cowardly Dragon, for children. Goes on various adventures.
Honestly,
Cute,
it's
adorable
improved.
sidekick.
It's improved pre-K reading,
Endless Scourge.
but
And
it's an agent of darkness.
those that profess to, those who are undead, vampires who profess to fight against the evil ones, Do you actively seek their death, or are you willing to look the other way or ally yourselves with them as needed?
We live amongst them in Lunas.
Yeah.
We are the watchers of the watchers, those who keep night in the Everdarkness. We always watch for betrayal from our so-called protectors of the realm. It is an uneasy peace from our perspective.
I can live with that. Do you know that we have found allies among those who profess light and don't seek these evils? But it sounds like your primary enemy is also ours. And we would like to see the fall of Orcus as like 5 divines. 5
Necrocs.
necrocs. Sorry.
I mean, also the 5 divides. They're dead anyway,
Sorry,
so
the other,
at least one of them.
they're not the same thing, right?
They are not the same
They're
thing.
not the
true.
same thing. I'm just like, gotta bookmark that in my brain.
Yeah.
5 of them, 5 of them.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. It's a handy number. I know.
How long does
I'm gonna look up the spell.
yeah.
Uh,
We're doing a reincarnation with Rick.
open any
His
pen.
last assist before he would works away.
You got something to tell me?
He does. Oh yeah, it does.
I think he might have already told me
Great.
that I have a soul.
No,
He said
that-
something else to
you
tell
already
me.
know. Yeah, you already know that.
Okay. I didn't know he had something else to say.
Oh, we do.
Great always has something else to say. Too now.
It's usually not. I mean,
Pardon?
Too now.
No. Yeah, so you have some time here, some without even having to start, lying to buy more time.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, I'm not gonna be very specific about who we know,
mhm.
but yeah. Just learn a little more about. I'll ask about as we go into Loomis, if they have a headquarters or who we could trust there, in their opinion, and if there's contacts that could be helpful.
Mhm.
Use that puddle of goo we scooped together for the piece that we used to revivify him, or to reincarnate him.
Yeah,
See if the gooey bit.
we just stuff it back
Enough.
inside the armor.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying do it outside the armor?
Oh, well, if you need, yeah, I mean, keep him in there. I don't know.
we didn't trap him in there in the first place.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was willingly in there.
I mean, I think I would maybe dabble into that territory and just ask a few questions about the willingness of the pilot.
Yeah. You would be wise to be ever vigilant when it comes to any acquaintances or so-called allies you have made who are professing to be resisting the corruption of their form.
I'm confused. Alright. Okay.
All vampires inevitably fall to
Is
the
there-
darkness.
Is your pilot a vampire?
My pilot is a common human male.
No. Is this why?
No,
Like, how bad do I have to feel here?
So it's like olive skin, dark hair.
It's
Quite
a little
handsome.
sketchier.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Tone of the conversation changes.
Oh gosh.
Makes a good point.
foulness of undeath has not entirely left this vessel with the departure of the Dracolich. Do you have amongst you such a creature?
Which?
I start grabbing my
A
sword.
vampire? Or any
Sword
other
ready
undead
to kill
creature?
people.
And if we did?
I would simply like to know. It would inform how much I trust you moving forward.
Excuse me, sir. For someone that doesn't have a body right now, threats not the thing. I'm in a mood today.
I have issued no threat, and we have drawn blood against a prime enemy together.
I'm
Can I-
undead. Okay,
Can I do
listen.
an insight check? So just sort of get a vibe
Yeah.
of how much I want to
Yes.
disclose.
What are you trying to engage? Like, what would influence that?
Like,
And you can
I'm-
deceive me.
I'm trying to
Good luck.
decide how dangerous it might be to disclose Xerox's nature. And I still probably wouldn't specifically say Xerox, but you know. Like I'm just trying to get a vibe of how dangerous that is to disclose.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, insight. 26.
Jesus.
When you say you're undead, at first it's like deception, though cleverly disguised as you do not draw breath, nor does your heart beat.
I'm saying. And let me tell you, I died a number of times today.
Yeah.
Not really lying here.
Fallen in victorious battle, there's no shame in that, as your companions clearly have seen to your revival. I fell in combat and became this, and many pilots of mine have fallen in combat since that time.
How would you like to become a robot? I know of a body right downstairs.
I am
Goes by the name of
already
Leap
a
Loop.
weapon made perfect, honed and sharpened to be the ideal weapon to sever the heads of the undead.
I'm really not trusting your NPCs these days, Mark.
You got a 26. It clearly, at this moment, does not have any capacity to do anything other than talk.
Yeah.
You think, and you can you have the capacity to detect magic and stuff. And you can see it's a powerfully enchanted thing, but it's not animate. It's not I mean it's sentient, but it's not an animated suit of armor or anything. It's not gonna get up and puppeteer the body.
Right.
Chuck that body over the side.
But if we're actively.
But it definitely it reminds you a little bit of Togetots. Not this is Togetots is much more single purpose in this thing. This thing has a little bit more personality, as arrogant as it might be. And it seems like if it truly thought that Xerox was a fallen vampire and that you guys were lying to him, they'd probably identify you as an enemy and try and destroy you if it could, or it might retreat to seek a more opportune moment, or it might just add you to a big list of enemies. It seems like it wants to kill this Dracolich pretty significantly. So you're not sure you don't think that you don't get a strong impression that it is looking or itching for a fight with you all. It seems to really mean it when it says we've drawn blood against this significant foe of mine together.
Right.
So there's that.
Yeah, revivify that. Let's resurrect this goofball. Maybe he'll turn into a hobbit and we don't have to worry about it. Or a halfling.
I mean, yeah, so we do sometimes travel with a companion who is undead. And they are valiant and honorable in their experiences and their behaviors. They also share your enemies. The fight.
And you're not
against
going to
Negarks.
do anything, because if you do, we're going to throw you off the side of the ship.
I
will
Intimidate.
give you- yeah.
From under the decks of the ship.
I come up with a nightgown on and a cap.
my friends are quick to defend our own. And as I will be too, though I would like to handle peace
That was cocked.
for violence.
27, 26.
26 on intimidation. There's just muscles rippling underneath that nightgown, and like you're like using like your spear as like a walking stick, and, like you got like and there's just like a quiet moment. That says, I have no issue with your companion if you all speak on their behalf. I will still count you as allies against the darkness of this time.
I'd like to count you as an ally as well.
But I would leave you with this warning. The city of Loomis is protected by an undying guard of vampires who claim nobility, claim to serve the people of the city and protect them. But the greatest among them stole the holiest of relics, a great and divinely powered sword, and fled from the city after slaying another of their kind. Even those most trusted vampires, even those most trusted so-called dark guardians of the light, they all should be held suspect.
Couldn't you not say the same thing about the living? Great betrayals like this exist throughout history.
The living do not typically represent a threat that would annihilate all life as its central goal.
What was the deal with the sword, though?
But we don't know that those, just because this one holds that goal does not mean that the rest...
Clearly, I will not convince you to be as suspicious of their kind as I. I only wish to encourage the skepticism of their capacity to live up to their ideals.
As long as you're not going to try anything dumb, you're fine by me.
I think we've all learned some skepticism around the safety of those around our company.
Put the halberd down. I start dragging his stupid
Yeah.
body to the center of the ritual site.
Yeah.
It's just like finishing up a few things, has the circle
Are
ready.
you able
like,
to fly to Loomis, or do you wish to travel by faster means or other means?
Once my pilot is brought back, we will be able to return to Loomis. I am an powerfully enchanted artifact.
Do you goof?
Pardon?
You boot liquor? Bam?
In life,
That's the word.
I enjoyed a good boofing. In my current form. Oh, bam! Yes, yes.
Bam. Can you bam there?
I can
That's the word.
instantaneously
It's been a
return
long
to
day.
the Topple headquarters.
You want to? Should I set you up with a booth while we bring you back?
Oh my gosh.
Can you tell me more about this sword?
Yeah.
Okay, Ron's gonna go, whoops. I'm like,
Oh yeah, boofing. I forgot
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
I forgot about boofing. It's been a while.
It was among the most sacred relics of Loomis. It is called the Holy Avenger. It is a sword gifted to the most fervent and zealous of paladins who fought evil in the deepest darkness and unto their last breath.
What was its last owner?
The traitor to Loomis,
Number 4.
known
And who is the? I
Yeah,
want
let's
to know that
continue.
too.
Sorry.
its last owner was the traitor. It is gifted to the first among the bloodless lancers.
And then-
Visigroth,
Mm-hmm.
traitor to Loomis.
Hmm.
Why do I know that name?
He's a pirate.
He is a
We're
pirate.
not going to talk about that.
I'm not talking about that right now.
Okay, that's fine. I know that name. Okay.
He ran away with it?
For slaying another of his kin, one of the temple guardians at the heart of the city. Stole our holiest of relics and the greatest weapon we have against the darkness, and fled.
Why would he do such a thing?
We believe that he was seeking to wake the Dark Prince beneath Loomis, the first necrarch and greatest among them.
Why would he take the sword if he was and leave if he wanted to do that?
I believe he was uncovered in that plot and that effort, and he fled as soon as it became evident that his goals would not be met, stripping us of one of our greatest tools.
Craig, can you slow down? Zero, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. I need you to send a message to Visigoth real quick. Bro, did you steal a sword? And can we trust you? Please be honest. Love, Big Help Game.
By the way,
Zero sends a message.
do you know Topple?
Oh, yeah, Topple, do you know them? The Nords? Love, Big Help Game.
Zero through Rory's telepathic phone. Remembering that that's probably active right now.
Yes,
Pretty
it should
much
still
always
be
is.
accurate. It was earlier.
Says that Visigoth seemed to assume we were joking about the question and implied that it would be very insulting. And I said that Topple, he remembers them as a pretty minor group of overzealous mortals with some powerful relics that meant well for the most part. The sword was, it says again, was a part of his raiment, was like a part of his, like, for 500 years of service to the city. It's part of the things gifted to him as a part of his going away, his retirement, to live out whatever life he might make for himself.
Mm.
It was such a shame, and such a great betrayal. Visigroth was beloved by the people, a great hero. And the stain he left in the city and upon his order will take at least another 500 years to absolve.
It's a good thing he's not dead.
What you described.
I'm eager for this ritual to be concluded.
Yeah. Gray's almost ready. Right, Gray?
Gray is now ready, and we're entering the portion where it will, in fact, require some amount of deception to keep the ruse going. Like, Gray is definitely, wise and insightful enough to see that you guys understand what you guys are requesting. But I'll say that you guys, you guys can make the deception check just through your active distraction and moving through the conversation and stuff, so we don't have to roll from Gray.
Okay.
I don't know, we got a +4.
I'm dying.
Present, I can help.
Yeah, I'm not super deceptive either, despite being
Shit,
quite
I'm
charismatic.
I'm the only one rolling deep with the +4.
I mean, well, I'm +5, but
okay.
that's a level 20 charisma, and not being particularly deceptive.
-4 to everything.
Oh yeah.
Wait, I thought that was just saves.
Everything.
Yeah,
Everything.
pretty much all.
Shit.
Yeah,
Hibernation.
I think Quilla is working on the angle of providing less information is more.
Okay.
To a degree, but also she will be pretty direct in the idea of I appreciate your account of everything that has happened, and forgive me if I do not automatically take it as the gospel, given all the different accounts we've heard of history as we know it from different perspectives, just even in these last few days. But we definitely see your alignment with our goals against the Necrarchs. And I would like for us to be allowed as much as possible.
I'm not big fans of the darkness either.
And remember, sometimes you get the wrong idea about people when they do things, and they don't turn out to be that bad.
Just
No
the
pirates.
deception, and it sounds like
I
the
think-
point of delaying is to get more information out of them. It seems.
No, our point of delay was just to hear back from it.
Yeah, just
I just wanted to hear back from Visigoth before this thing woke up.
yeah, no, not delaying. Just at this point, just we're waiting for Gray to finish that.
Yeah, Gray is working on it. I rolled a 3, which puts me well in the doesn't help.
I mean, I guess I'm just a little unclear of what your guys' intentions or hopes are through any active rolling that you're doing here, because you've gotten the message back from Visigoth. If you want to delay the spell, because Gray can do that, but we'll do that through you guys just distracting. But it'll be Gray's oh, I guess I'm not actually ready yet, even though I am. So to what end are you trying to delay or deceive or do anything?
Yeah, I guess I don't necessarily. Other than I'd rather not reveal our exact connections with Visigoth.
We don't want to let them know. We got
just
Xerox
being,
downstairs.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
number one. Is we're not going to talk about Xerox's nature, and number two, we don't really want to get into our connections with Visigoth.
Cool.
So,
So we just don't mention it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we need to roll anything
Ascension
else
suit of
then?
armor is not doing an inquiry against you right now.
Okay.
It was just it was just going to respond to delays of the reincarnation because that's what it wants.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason to delay that more.
No rules necessary if you guys just want to omit information. It's made some rules, but it's not the most canny observer of humans right now in this state when it doesn't have a living pilot. It's just a suit of armor with limited senses. It just knows you guys are walking around and talking to it and stuff.
So we do roll. Still?
No rolls
Okay,
needed.
no rolls needed. Okay.
Just yeah, you guys can just definitely admit or not share certain information.
But also, I rolled a halfling for that piece of shit.
Did you roll the percentile?
Yeah, I rolled a 71. I'm just for my own stuff.
Yeah, I'll take that as a roll. Fine. Like, yeah, I was gonna have
else
it
has rolled one, so.
do a roll anyway.
Stout halfling.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
fantastic. Gray completes the ritual. You see this infusion of magic. These like Celtic knots or like symbols and like runes and stuff like just appear inside the circle, and you see like this person like lift up and you just start shrinking, just start shrinking so much, no longer fitting in their clothes, like just shrinking down, just so like losing like the first was like 6 foot plus, now they're down to like 3'6" or something. Like practically fit inside the mithril breastplate, which then does like start to like come down and like connect to them. You see that also that they have like a ring on their finger that also like sizes with their body, as well as just the weapons and stuff also that they're wielding just like shrink a little bit more to be more usable, as they're all just like still connected to this person even as they've died, but they're still like connected to their gear that they're.
Mutiny is the one that connected us with Visigoth too, right?
Yes.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
So.
We needed the halfling to hang out.
This halfling wearing the armor of Ivan Heavensong like gets up. Like the armor is like still like shrinking to like fit them. They're like gathering with just like clothes, like tying up like extra like material, like cutting off like some of the legs to like make things like fit a little bit better. And just like you hear the armor say, "Thank you, warriors of the light against the dark. You have done a noble service." And you see the halfling like take the ring and just like twist it, and the armor, just the voice of the armor like cuts off. I'm just like, oh, holy shit.
You really went through it there.
What the fuck? Am I a halfling?
Yes.
We lost a lot of your leg bone material back there and it's the best we could do.
And your chest material.
And
How long was
some
I
on your
out?
face.
Oh shit, we were gonna ask about how long Jerry was. Sorry about that.
At least an hour. It took us at least an hour to
An
get this.
hour?
Yeah, we had to get the spell ready. Bro, there was a claw in.
Motherfucker agreed to reincarnation after an hour?
No, it takes a while to
Well, we
Get
didn't
the
have a lot
spell.
left.
Get the spell. We had to get the spell ready.
casting things takes time.
Yeah, and you were properly dead.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, there were pieces missing.
And golds.
What about the ball?
Armor would have resurrected me tomorrow. I can do it once today, and it already did it today. Just didn't want to fucking wait.
well,
I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Yeah, that's pretty shitty.
that's your money.
Hey,
Can I kill him just so the armor has to revivify him again tomorrow? Is everybody on board with this?
You want to kill me?
No, I just want revenge.
I don't want to fucking die again.
Yeah,
That's
it's
fair.
all right.
No,
I'm
we're
sorry.
not
I said a day is enough.
Damn.
What is your relationship like with your armor?
It's like a year-long contract. I'm 6 months through it.
Okay.
But you would have got to
Did
revivify
you
tomorrow.
like a contract that you took up by choice?
Yeah, obviously there's a big conspiracy among the vampires to like eventually consume us all. We're all just cattle for them. So yeah, like I agreed to like sign up with Popple. But this armor is kind of an asshole. I didn't
Fucking
expect.
knew it.
I didn't expect that.
You and I both picked up on the dickhead. You know what I'm saying?
Close feel France is just too trusting.
I mean, I was gonna throw your ass over the fucking side, but he was being a dick. Regardless, point is, glad you're here. You seem okay, but I'm sorry about that. He wasn't being very truthful.
I
Shit.
still think maybe we have some common enemies, but it's a little muddy.
I'm gonna get some sleep.
Anyway.
Sorry,
You
bud.
guys been talking to Ivan while I've been out. I don't
Yeah.
know what he's told you.
Bunch of shit.
We're with Topple.
Yeah.
How many people are in Topple? Like, are there lots of suits of armor that have contract people?
Topple has a number of like various artifacts, some of them sentient and kind of cursed, like this one. But like the weapons aren't sentient or anything. They come from Topple as well. So they do some like enchanting and all that sort of thing. But like the artifacts, like Ivan, are what give Topple a lot of power. But they only have so many, and they can only hire as many people as they can outfit. And
is that like 20 or like 100?
I think at the height maybe over 20, but now it's like about a dozen. Not all the artifacts make it back, even with the enchantments. And, yeah, when you die, you're supposed to die once, and then like, Ivan was supposed to like take me back and be like, hey, like we failed the mission, we died, here's what we learned. But Ivan can be pretty overzealous sometimes, and I think didn't want to end the fight after bringing me back. But like, how many times do you get a chance to take a crack at the fucking endless scourge, right?
And we're on that track, so
Like,
it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Like, I haven't kind of like he saw where we intersect, but that's kind of crummy. He could have said something.
He could have been better about it. And for your sake, surely
We were gonna take a day anyway. We have to go to repair. We were gonna get shippy. Oh man.
Anyway, yeah.
Sorry, dude.
That sucks.
We'll
What
figure
are you
it out.
apologizing to him for?
I'm apologizing to the dude. The armor's a jackass.
Yeah, the ring lets me like it's kind of a fails. Like I can suppress Ivan for a while with it if I need to. Also, just if I need to have some privacy or whatever. But when this is off, and this is like limited a couple times a day.
Take off the armor.
It takes some pretty heavy duty disenchantment to remove it, and that's why like the contracts are as long as they are, because it's a pretty substantial investment to.
Not a wizard here.
I mean,
Look, no, I do want to finish my contract and do my duty for Loomis and for the living. I mean, it's important work, even if your coworker's a real piece of shit. Like,
can I then like get in your head? Can you read your thoughts?
no, he definitely can tell when I'm upset or mad just because the way I'm breathing. Like, he's up against my chest and skin all up practically. Like, you get to know somebody as well as you do when you're bearing them for 6 months. But he doesn't. I mean, the ring gives
privacy
me
ring?
Yeah. The armor has to stay on,
Well,
but it's just a breastplate. You can move enough around.
It would look pretty dope anyway.
And like, I mean, sometimes they like.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of dope.
Fancy, aren't it?
Yeah.
You're giving up a lot for the cause. All I'm going to say.
I mean, the logistics of your sex life aside. We
I'm a robot.
While you are thinking freely from Ivan, while we do agree with his general motives and cause, we would caution some skepticism if things don't entirely add up.
I know I got some vibes off that armor.
We worry that the blanket statement that everybody who is a vampire or undead is automatically cursed to darkness is flawed. And, sometimes stories are skewed by the tellers.
How do you feel about vampires?
Look, like, I mean, I agree mostly with Topple. Like, it's not that every vampire is immediately a bad person. It's just that they inevitably become a monster in the long run. We've seen it. I mean,
I hear you.
they keep the
Yeah,
facade
yeah.
up in Loomis, and like there are a lot of good people, a lot of good vampires that are still trying to do good work. But I think that, especially with Visigoth, that that fucked with a lot of people. And it's
How long did that happen?
just like 32 years ago.
How old is this kid?
This new.
Well, yeah, the new halfling. How old are you?
I think he's like, I think Evan described him like in his like 40s. We probably would have been like pretty young.
Pretty young.
Yeah,
Okay.
when that happened.
I just think sometimes there's more layers to things, and I also think like if someone said you were destined to be evil, you've got a choice in that, right?
Well, I'm not a vampire, so yeah.
But
No.
you know,
We don't make vampires.
Maybe-
I don't know
yeah.
what's going on here. We don't make vampires.
but
Present company does not make vampires.
we're just
Great.
yeah. Don't worry about them.
I don't know what I was before I became a robot, so.
I just think it's dangerous to assume that someone's going. You know, you can't pre-know that someone is going to commit a crime.
I mean, look, like, there's a reason why me and Ivan are out here hunting a
Sure.
Dracolich and not killing all of the
Yeah.
so-called
I mean-
noble vampires that do fight the undead, that do protect the city of Loomis.
Mm-hmm.
Just because one kind of, I hear you.
And you know, I mean,
I think
maybe a
you'll-
lot of them
you'll-
do turn, and
There are
that's
people back at Topple that could explain it a lot better than me, and like, you can come to Loomis and make up your own mind, but I mean, I'd say the same warning.
Yeah.
The same warning goes to you. That just because they look fancy and wear riches and have status in our city doesn't mean that they're good.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's you know, just a healthy dose of skepticism all around.
Speaking of Loomis, any good tips about getting around there?
Within the city,
Yeah.
depends on what you're after. If you're,
I don't know.
what interest do you guys have in Loomis?
Swords. No, sorry. Okay.
Well,
Vibes.
we might.
There's vibes.
We've been hearing a lot about
Visiting.
it, and we might visit.
Seems like a good place.
Not a lot of. This is. Look, I've seen some pretty amazing things, and I mean, I wear a haunted suit of armor that allows me to fly through the air. I've never been on a ship in the sky before. You all seem to have stood your ground pretty well against one of the most powerful undead entities in the Bone Wastes.
But you caught what he said, right? There's a siege coming. You guys ready for a siege?
Yeah, were you alive?
Loomis-
Were you alive for that part?
When Ivan gets into real like battle mode, it's almost like the inverse of me using this ring. Like, I feel like I get a little bit suppressed in those moments. So again, sorry if he was an asshole when we showed up.
Sorry.
It's a little bit of like a dreamlike state at times. But the Scourge said that they were going to besiege Loomis.
Yeah.
Something
They're
like
coming
that.
for the guy underground.
And then he ran like a coward.
The Scourge said.
He's underground, right?
He
Like under the earth?
said,
Yeah.
Temple somewhere.
Ventric of the Dark Star will awaken and we must fall. Do you know what that's about?
I mean, that's been the goal of the Necrarts, to retrieve their master, their lord, who was the first to betray vampires to Orcus.
And Ventric was the first Necro.
Was a mad prince, became a vampire, and the stories go various ways. Some say that he was a brutal princeling before that time. Some say he was a noble hero that was twisted by the darkness. But in any case, he wielded, in that era, as many did, immense power. Wielded souls themselves. He became the first and most powerful vampire, and seems cannot be destroyed. Found himself made of, say that, like, as long as the wand exists, Ventric can't be slain.
What one?
Orcus's wand.
How do you get that?
Well, thanks to the divine protections of Ilmater, and, if you believe it, the tireless guardianship of the vampires, the wand, in its place amongst the priests and all the miraculous divine magics, suppresses Ventric.
Why don't they just destroy the one?
It's an ancient and profane relic that is, like Ventric, not destroyable.
Maybe we could go back to where it came from.
It's said that it was a gift from Orcus himself to Ventric as an implement of his power to wield and to bring forth an unending darkness upon the world, to snuff out the light and life of all consciousness,
Yeah.
and to replace it with an unending and unchanging undeath.
How do the priests
That sounds
protect
boring.
the wand? Do
There's
they
a
keep it
holy
somewhere?
place, primarily the god Lathander keeps the holy site, but there are some others as well. There are a number of priests, but I've never been the most religious person.
Is that holy site somewhere inside of Luma?
In the center, in the heart of Loomis is built on a big hill, and it is it's protected by a series of rings of walls to protect the interior of the city. It's capable of withstanding a great siege and has withstood the anger, the rage, the unceasing conniving of the Necrarts for all these centuries. Though it is worrying that we found the dragon. That's why Ivan and I were here. This Dracolich has not left its lair in at least a century, which certainly seems to mean that something is good.
There's much going on in the world.
We rarely get news from beyond the wastes. How fare the great cities of the West?
The free cities?
The great cities. What are the free cities?
Oh God.
Well, the free cities are standing as independently united, I suppose, against the Imperium. well, standing, as city-states with a common insistence on freedom from the Imperium's rule. The Imperium has gotten quite oppressive,
Once again.
and using rather cruel means and evil means. I don't know what your knowledge is of the Imperium or your alliances thereof, but it's caused a lot of harm, and the Free Cities wish to, certainly not be under their rule or sway. But the Imperium seems to wish to take over more. They have, I wish our friend Zira was awake right now. She has so much more knowledge about the interworkings of the politics of it all. But I'd say between
They have an interest
Between
in
the
destroying Lumos.
between the 5 Neckarts and 5 Divines, there's might be a little bit between a rock and a hard place.
I think the Imperium is probably the reason that Dracolich is coming to town.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth,
I'm guessing they have something to do with it.
if they get the Wand of Orcus, they will
You're
totally
suggesting
destroy the
that
world.
Devils and undead have made an alliance.
Yeah, not suggesting. Confirmed. Done. Ask the 5 Divines. They're in hell. You can't ask them.
Or you just don't want
I'll bring this information back to Topple.
Also, if they get the Wand of Orcus, they already have the Wand of Hashemadai, and death reign upon our little existence.
You know who would love to know a bunch about Topple? Beeplu.
No.
Yeah!
No!
I have not come across Topple. Sorry.
By the way, do you have anything from Lumos that was made there from there by chance?
Most of what I'm wearing.
You feel like giving me a piece of it?
Well, if you cut off the edges of those pants,
Oh,
take
okay,
a scrap.
perfect. Thank you.
Future travel.
To teleport?
Yeah.
I don't know that I could stop you if you wish to take them, though I am still, shall we say, a little bit skeptical, as we both encouraged each other to be, about inviting such a powerful force to arrive in the heart of my cities without any.
He's being
That's
careful, too. He's being
complicated.
careful.
We brought Ivan back to life. He was along for the ride and
And I didn't
not
kill you again just
a
to make your master
consenting
What are your
member.
concerns, though?
Look, you are all extremely and
Absolutely.
very obviously powerful warriors, and you have a flying vessel that is an obviously powerful artifact.
Yeah.
It's not like we're gonna steal the Wand of Orcus or something.
Topple does not always have the warmest of relationships with the powers that be in Loomis. And if it came out that we delivered to the city a powerful band of heroes or mercenaries, as depending on largely what you choose to do
Interpretation.
once you arrive in Loomis.
And the interpretation of the story thereafter.
Yeah, that would present would put us in a challenging position, I think.
You could happen to leave something on the boat.
Look, I'm not. Loomis is the city. But there are, quite a few communities outside of Loomis. I myself am from a small farming community. The outskirts, like farther and farther away from the city, are more dangerous to live in because it's more possible for the undead to raid or to assault those places. But like hesitates. This is like I have this from my old home. And he like pulls out this like it looks like a well-worn little like carved owl. I'm just like somebody just like just carved this little thing. Taken from a tree outside our home, and it's maybe like a half. It's been a while. About a day's ride. I don't know how fast this ship moves. But
You are today.
horseback, about a day's ride outside the city. If you went there, you could more readily announce yourselves and be met by the city in official capacity, and Topple would not be the people who brought vigilantes or mercenaries or great heroes to the heart of the city.
I understand your concern for sure, and that's a very kind gesture.
You're just making it a little bit easier for us. We can still get there. I'm just.
He's talking about the city. That sounds like
And
we were talking about a different insertion method already, so this sounds kind enough to me.
Yeah, you guys think it would be like
I mean,
it would be like a couple hours probably by shipping to fly from that teleported location. Like if it's a day's ride by horse.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot we
that
teleported.
pretty quick.
but we were
Yeah.
gonna try not to.
Just you went by.
Should be.
You teleported a bunch of horses with you. Probably find horses at that village. It's probably you guys are bringing enough money to make that worth their time.
We'll find a bug.
I think we get
Yeah.
horses easier there than anywhere else, pretty much.
Timron's always wanted to pull a rickshaw.
That's hilarious.
What is your name? Not Ivan, I'm guessing.
No. My name is Clive.
Clive. Thank you for all your kind help, and apologies that you've lost some height.
Yeah, maybe Topple can fix this for me, but
Yeah.
not the worst fate has befallen a volunteer with Topple.
Yeah. Well, that's a good outlook.
We're gonna throw you off the side.
Hey, I probably would have been resurrected tomorrow with my old body, and then I just would have gone back. So
But we'll get you back.
next time,
Yeah,
throw
next
them
time.
off.
Yeah. Next time we'll throw him off. I'll give him. Oh, this is funny.
Excellent.
Just because Chloe does that.
Yeah.
I'll give him a Bible tract about Malin.
He
Yeah.
adds it to the one that was left by Leaf Loop, as
Yeah.
Malin was just proselytizing earlier.
Consider it.
Also, Clive, wait, what's the name of the town, the little community you're from?
Oakvale Farms.
You're not gonna understand this, but I'm not giving the scarf. And I walk away downstairs to go check in on Leap Loop.
Somehow I feel insulted.
Try not to take it too
So yeah,
personally.
no, it's okay.
See, not everybody's wearing a scarf, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I flip my nightcap around.
Happens that occasionally. And you have means to easily transport yourself.
Yeah, the armor's meant to be able to return back to Topple once, and Ivan just doesn't like to fucking do it because it means that he's failed his mission. And Ivan's like obsessed with this, like he calls it this clearance rate. He hates to go out on a mission and not have it completed successfully. So yeah.
Well,
It's like his kill the
you know, you win some and lose some.
What?
Right, you know, you win some and you lose some.
Yeah. You think you would have learned that over a few hundred years or however long this asshole's been.
That's how he sticks around. He's always right. Hey, can I get a resurrection, baby?
So, if there's nothing else, I am grateful for your assistance in the fight, and it's not every day you get to talk to magic flying people from beyond the bone ways. So,
Do you have any places you recommend if we make it over to Loomis?
yeah, absolutely. Like he rattles
Rattles
off
off a handful of cool
like he's
places.
definitely
Okay.
somebody like enjoys the city and like has a bunch of
Like
places.
just tell us about
Yeah.
fun things
Like
in
yeah,
Loomis.
he tells you
Magic
like
shop,
if you're
Good place with a view.
if you want just good drinks and good environment, like he like lists off a few places on the outskirts of town. If you're looking for magical equipment, I mean, Topple has a bunch. They're pretty tight-fisted. The Bloodless Lancers have the churches have a lot of artifacts and powerful equipment. There aren't a lot of magic shops there aren't a lot of people like you all in Lemons.
No? Not a lot of adventurers, huh?
Yeah, the city's pretty organized around defending the city and the outlying regions beyond the aura effects of the city that repel the undead.
More organized force, less freelance.
Yeah, the church forces, the vampire forces, the people's volunteer militia forces, all these elements. Like, there's not a lot of very wealthy adventurers that come around and are freelance or anything like that. I'm sure if you were working in alignment with the city's interests, Topple or another organization would be happy to make some trades or something like that with you, or even give you gifts if boons for divine work. But
We're boon mongers. I like that.
yeah. But yeah, you might. There are parts of the city that are, that I haven't spent a lot of time in. There might be circles that I don't run in that might, trade in those sorts of things. But, I'm sure we're talking about weaponizable artifacts and powerful weapons and things.
Yeah.
There are, of course, minor enchantments and things.
Potions and
Yes, and
little
self, sweeping brooms.
fun trinkets.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a Pomeranian.
I thought you were going to say pomegranate, and now it's mashed up.
Been looking for an all black Pomeranian.
But I should be getting back to report in.
Yes.
Yes.
Totally understand. We appreciate you and your conversation, and it was helpful to hear your experiences to balance the violence.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's been a pleasure again. Sorry for any impoliteness from Ivan, but I do need to end the suppression in order to teleport back. And you hear the haughty voice of Ivan
You
back
prick.
on. I have only done what is necessary to ensure victory against the darkness.
Yeah.
Time is of the essence. We must return to the city immediately.
We're going to tell Topple that you got your ass kicked, by the way. We watched it.
I was like, don't worry, I will make sure the report is that we lost.
Yeah.
All right.
But how bad?
You would,
So bad that you said a normal revivification wouldn't have done it for me. I was pretty fucked up.
You're basically.
Yeah. I mean, there's still a bag, like that's me in that bag, right? Like some.
oh,
Well,
yeah,
I
old you.
mean, there's probably some drippings. We must back most of it back in.
Ugh.
Thing.
Yeah.
not on the
Barf.
Yeah.
That is just kind of like.
This is like way too casual.
Throw
Yeah.
that bag overboard.
Yeah.
And with that, Ivan and Clive depart from Tippy.
Insight check on Clyde.
Yeah.
Scenery.
I would like to do that as well.
Sure. What sort of insight are you trying to?
I want to know if he's telling more of the actual truth because he seems like less of an asshole, or if it really is not. He's just his armor buddy trying to be less of a dick.
Similar, but yeah, just like his how true he rings in terms of his beliefs and just also the just veracity of everything with his contract, his arrangement with Topple,
Yeah.
all the details there.
Uh-huh.
And I got 24.
I think you both pick up that like Clive is definitely much more earnest, and just kind of like much more just like a little bit more like an offshot sort of guy. Like, yeah, I'm in a situation. What are you gonna do? So it's work, like doing this thing, like
Yeah.
But
doing
like,
my part.
yeah, like definitely, like yeah, like was yeah, like you don't sense a sense you don't I don't think either of you get a sense of deception from them. They're not like lying about their city. They seem to actually like both the armor and their wearer both seem genuinely concerned about the city and its well-being. They both just share along with their organization, it seems, a pretty strident view of some elements within the city and stuff.
Man, what a shit contract, though. But I got myself a couple of shitty ones too, so I shouldn't talk that much shit.
He's
Muttering yourself as you go pull up decks to get back to bed. You're not
Through the
good.
dreamer
he's
system.
a average worker who hasn't realized the fall of capitalism.
That money grind. You're that money grind. You get tunnel vision.
It's true. You gotta, you gotta pay the bills.
It's the
You're in
outside.
You don't know what you don't know.
How do you guys feel about
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
I expect a good break.
I don't know. If I can remember this.
Sarah, WT.
WTF, mate?
Seriously.
Oh, Sarah.
WTF?
Take please. Yeah, so I think Gray wraps up, collects like the accoutrement of the reincarnation magic, and whoa,
Glasses.
Shake my glasses off, it's fun.
says to you, people. So find yourself on the deck at some point with Tehran having gone below to commune with the dreamer. Quilla,
Well, we'll take first watch and then go to hand it off to somebody and go to sleep.
get a warm rest in.
Yeah, unless our crew wants to watch, that would be okay.
They've been being lazy all day.
Then I'll just go downstairs.
They didn't fight a dragon.
Did not. Yeah, Ellis and the rest of the crew up on, definitely happy to go up on the deck there. Say thanks for fighting that monster off and keeping us safe. That was a harrowing moment.
Glad we all get to live to tell the tale. Live to see another day? Whatever. One of those,
Yeah.
idioms.
Live to tell another tale another day because we're still alive.
Yep,
Excellent.
that's the goal.
Yeah.
For now.
Well, we can.
Alice,
keep
would you have
watch.
liked to be a suit of armor?
Yeah. Feel free to wake us up if I mean, if I
Is
watch.
that like a puzzle? Is this like a?
There's a organization in Topple that gives people enchanted suits of armor that are sentient. I don't think It called wearer a pilot. I don't think that's something.
Yeah, like
I would recommend.
no, beep boop. I have never aspired or thought about being a sentient piece of armor or any other object.
I'm just curious.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
What about a robot? Your soul could live on forever.
That does seem much more interesting, if I'm being honest. Like you do a lot of amazing things, and you've been around for who knows how long. That's really cool. Definitely be lying if I hadn't thought about what that would be like. And
Hell. What?
You said
Oh.
Yeah, you get to deal with that shit all the time.
Is that why you're such an asshole to us?
No. I like you.
Wow.
Just doesn't always come through.
It manifests some.
I mean, I guess I do see what you do to your enemies. So, like, I was about to say.
I mean, I have limited capacity to run interference for this right now.
Yeah. No, I did want to say, me and the rest of the crew have been chatting, and we think that it might be best for us to disembark from Shippy.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah.
Might be a robot.
I will do everything in my power to make sure that doesn't happen.
I think I'll just laugh at
90%
that. I'm just
joking.
like, see, now
95.
you're just starting to grow on me after all this time. Just now. Yeah, we don't feel like we are contributing a lot and feel like we are in danger of dying all the time by accident, by you guys are dealing with a lot of things at times, and if
I poke my
think
head
that
out.
we might just be making things more difficult in some ways.
We always can revive you.
Oh,
See, the experience of dying, I don't know
I
how
don't
it is
think
for a
that's
robot
the-
person.
I mean, you don't have to tell me about the experience of dying.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure you died many times because of the sort of adventure that you guys are on. But we die much easier. And it seems like it's going to be a
Happen if you
frequent
were a
occurrence.
robot.
I noticed there's a conversation with the crew happening. I just cracked the door to my cabin. Like, oh, there seems to be some people quitting.
I will absolutely support whatever
Been there 2 weeks.
you'd like. We can give you, we can drop you at any port or station.
If you guys, if we're returning
interested.
to the Inaru, the flying mountain,
Yeah.
I'm sure that we could stay there relatively safely until we could get back to Valkyrie, or perhaps Zira's weird clone friend could
Yes.
send us.
Yes, Vitaria
Vitaria.
could probably send you. That's true.
Organized passage.
And we're in no rush. We just like I said,
You want to get off the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
I-
want to, for various reasons, we would like to get off
I
the
would-
boat.
I do too.
That's fair.
If you stay, I'll train you.
Hey, that's a nice offer. No thanks.
That's fair.
Let me ask,
Similar to Big Boo.
do you require a raise to stay?
So we didn't
Shush.
really even ask for pay for joining, and it's really never been about
Okay.
that. It really is. We got caught up in the heat of the moment. There was a big party in Valkyrie. There was an opportunity to work to help the big help gang do big things, but like I said, it feels just more that we're just underfoot.
Oh,
Um,
sorry
I
if we
think,
treated you as such.
Oh yeah, that's definitely been the case. From
Sorry.
some of you more than others, for sure. Beep Boop has made it a very hostile, like, if you call it a workplace, a very hostile workplace.
I'm
Yeah,
laughing
so-
at game, but yeah, I completely understand.
Yeah. Well, that gives us some good feedback for when
The next crew?
we find more crew.
Yeah,
Hopefully we can
these
do a better
these
job.
hapless automaton friends seem like they might be a great fodder for you to throw into danger.
Well, so here's my thoughts with the next crew, and if you were interested, though you've suggested otherwise, that we could do training and help the crew hold their own.
And and
But-
honestly, like you guys could also recruit people who are more
On
capable of
that
doing
path.
these things.
Yeah, people interested in-
We're just ball creep people. Like I know how to handle myself out in the woods. I can shoot a bow pretty easily thanks to my dad. And Gray's just like stewing over there. It's like there's still like Gray's an elevated being now, but still hates her father Eric Bastard.
That's right.
But this, like, the things that you guys are doing are
This is fairly risky business.
I mean, I don't even know any stories of people flying a ship through the air and fighting off an ancient Dracolich monster. This
Do you know?
this is beyond like adventure things.
Move fast and break things.
That's fair.
Alex, you're always just gonna be about creepy, and this is the path you take.
No, and that's
Sometimes
totally
it's
fine. We're all okay with that.
Yeah.
Um,
That's the life you want, and you absolutely don't have it.
yeah.
If you want to set the bar that
Look,
low,
there was a party.
Only
We were
so
all
high.
very drunk and celebrating the great triumphs that you guys had accomplished, and came back to the
I
city with a
remember.
plunge.
I thought Gray was wrong about you. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Gray's just like,
Sorry, bud.
um,
Shouldn't have doubted you.
I'm sorry.
So again, this is a lot of the kind of stuff.
Yeah,
like,
no,
in
that's
addition
fair.
to the danger,
That's fair.
I can imagine a scenario like maybe with a different big help gang that we stuck around.
Yeah, a scenario where we're allowed a bunch of assholes.
Hey, you're not all entirely assholes always. So
Try.
I am
but
persuading.
we do
Heartfelt
appreciate-
apology for our unappreciated nature
Yeah.
towards you. That was a 29 on a persuasion.
Yeah.
So sorry.
I think Alice was like, no, like, and I do really appreciate, giving us a chance and resurrecting us those times when you did get us killed. And more recently, like looking out for us a little bit more carefully.
Trying to. But,
But like, you guys are doing really important things.
we're getting into
Invisible dragons,
shit,
man. I
so-
get it. I get it.
Yeah. So really, no hard feelings. Like, yeah, like all four of us have more stories and adventures than in this last like week than most people get in a lifetime. And
That's been a week.
Oh.
So, but
year
truly,
of our
like,
lives.
no hard feelings at all. We just think that we bit off a little bit more than we can chew.
For sure.
And,
That's a relatable feeling.
and it's it makes
Yeah.
sense that you guys would be feeling that to some extent too, given the scope of what you're working on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think helping protect Ball Creek, and I think like the things that we've definitely learned, like we know how dangerous it is out here, and I think that we're gonna go back with a a lot more seriousness about that. I don't know. I'm planning on reaching out to Vogda and joining the guard.
Hey, I mean, there's also
Like that's gonna be less dangerous.
there's also
It is
topple.
gonna be less.
It will be very dangerous and we could die, but it will
And
be more
Bogda
likely.
can't bring you back to life.
It'll be more likely a
You should
danger
get
that
in
we
the
have
trouble.
the capacity to deal
Yeah,
with, and
yeah,
not
I
that
hear what
we
you're saying
were
there, Alice.
trampled by an invisible Dracolich
Yeah,
that we couldn't
you know.
see.
And
It'll be
from
it'll be
common
like
household
I had nothing to do with that
vampires or,
brigands or one of the monsters. You know, maybe we'll get some weird ass zombies and Valkyries again that we'll have to deal with. But like those things, like
You got a very intense internship on old Shippy.
hey, you know, maybe like, I mean, it's probably we can write a check to anywhere I want to go.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Bogda can't turn me down now that I've served on the
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm sure I can get a letter of resignation from at least some of you.
certainly.
And Shippy always keeps good comms.
Alice,
Xerox is always really nice. It hasn't been with Shippy
Any one of
or with
us.
Bogda.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
You're not getting a
My
scarf
good
now. I'm
friend.
sorry. Sorry.
Ellis is definitely getting a scarf.
Aw.
Okay. There-
We can trust them with all the things that they do now, right?
We have a choice.
Yes, we have.
We don't have a choice. They've served more than helpfully this entire time with no issue.
Yeah.
We can let them go, no issue.
Mhm. Yeah.
My friend is
Yeah.
expressing
We can trust our
We
friends.
know
concern.
all your secrets, and we
You do.
will spill them to the Imperium at the first opportunity.
See?
We could probably make a lot of money off of it.
Probably good.
Exactly.
Probably
Just
the
joking.
Imperium's probably looking for some traders in Valkyrie.
But
Okay.
who really wants to be marked as a traitor?
You've been with this crew longer than I have. I'm not
saying
saying
it.
Not worth
I want them to go. I
You
want
were
them
one of the
probably-
first. You
Yeah.
count.
voluntarily
on the
continue
ship,
putting
they came
ourselves
with the
in
ship.
danger to
Yeah,
fight
but you've
them or
been
something.
part of the
You
team
know,
since
seems like a
way
better
back.
option.
Don't worry about him. We've come to understand what Beepoop says doesn't really matter.
I'm stirring the pot.
Uh,
Oof. Close the door to my cabin.
He's just, Daniel's just like constantly like playing himself back in the conversation, just, like over the railing, like over the
What else is
door.
happening? I'm not asleep yet. So what
Yeah,
else is
like climbing up from over the side of the deck. Oh.
striped nightgown cap? You're just like, ooh.
Something that I'd probably say, actually, I'll probably say this to Ellis as we approach en route in there. But I want to say it now just for sake of thinking
Yeah.
about it. I would like to ask if Ellis would be open to putting their name in my book as somebody I can write with, not the protection one, but the car scrapping one, and as a person we could touch base with in Valkyrie or you could, I could check in from time to time and see if anything new is going on there.
Yeah.
If you're open to it, and I could, make sure a little money heads your way for the effort.
Yeah, we'd be happy to be of any assistance back in Valkyrie, myself and the rest of the crew for sure. That's a really and that's really handy magic. I have this communication stone that I've been using to keep in touch with
nice.
my dad
Oh,
back
that's lovely.
in Valkyrie.
Yeah.
But I'd be happy to leave this also with you guys.
That might be more
another
reliable
line of
in
communication.
some way.
I don't know how many people you can put in your book.
Well, I was just thinking I would have
It is
to.
also just once a day, so if you wanted to talk more than that, it wouldn't.
Let's put you into the book for now, and then if we need to, if you're open to leaving that stone, maybe we could sort of have that as a backup if we need to, change the book. I should keep.
Just gotta craft a scarf quick.
I will temporarily take. I'm gonna. Should I take out Nazira or Beep Boop? Because I'm always with one of you. Just the talking book. We're always telepathically connected. Don't get all huffy about
it
it.
certainly shows where your priorities lie. They just may not be with people.
Okay, you're gonna add fuel to the fire there.
Look, it's all the shit Biku's put us through, all the shit he said. We learned that you gotta be able to do that.
Yeah. Well, we'll put you back in the Far Scribe book if we are separated. If we have a plan that we're going separate ways and we need it. Okay.
So I just have to sign it?
Yeah.
My note is literally
So,
beep boop or shippy
I
crew
am
quitting.
sad because
Beep boop has been
the only
petty
one who
about it.
wrote hi. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yep. And slowly putting more distant people in the book as it sees fit or as seems fit. Since we have our telepathy for our party most of the time.
This seems to make more sense.
Yeah. Using it for more. And we're establishing connections with people all over.
Plenty of places. Yeah, sure.
Valkyrie would be a good point to have a contact in. So being able to reach out, I think, would be helpful.
Yeah, happy to help. But yeah, this all happened like it's in the future.
Yeah, in the future as we arrive, I just want that to, be a thing.
Yeah. You see, Gray has sat down into a meditation pose, and there's burning incense around them, swirling around, and this four incense burning in this spiral around. Just as Gray's this powerful, immensely powerful druid, just weaves the air and around him. Opens their eyes, and for a moment they're glowing with this brilliant green light, and then looks at you, Biku, and says, "I think we both have some work to do in respect to Ellis and the Bastard family. I, for one, remain resentful, and I am identifying that."
True therapy. Being in the trees.
But it is not of the utmost priority, and it's not what brought me here. I wanted to speak to you.
Here?
Wherever you'd like. If I'm comfortable on the ship.
We could go down to the shop. But before we do, Ellis, I know you're not leaving now, but I bestow the scarf to you, one to each of your companions, and being such a loyal and utmost wonderful part of the team. Here, this hammer it shall protect you in the deepest of moments, and may it light your way and whatnot. And it's magical, of course, and should protect you. And I hand them a hammer, and it's That's all it does. I make it look a little bit more like magical, like you could actually do something with it, but it's just a mundane hammer that has a light spell on
Like
it.
a woodworking
once per
hammer
day,
or like a
light
battle
spell?
No,
hammer?
it always
Just
emits
always
5 feet.
illuminate.
Always. May it always illuminate your way.
Allison's. Wow,
Yep, great, bye. And I walk downstairs to say.
that seemed hard for you. Thanks.
Well said.
Wonderful. You guys, you and Gray head below decks to your shop workshop.
Yep.
Where you're approaching. Leap. I think we're almost there, my friend. My silent sleeping friend. I cannot wait to find out what stories you have to share. And what secrets of the archival bastion beside.
Oh, I have more piece on the deck.
Got a pillow over my head. Shouting like,
Sleeping room and
Haley
rooms are
Poop.
separate.
Maybe
Yes, my friend.
maybe shut down.
Beep boop.
Maybe shut down for a little bit and rest. It's long day's travel. You're gonna have lots of questions for that one when he wakes up, you know what I'm saying?
I do indeed.
Yeah,
I will
So-
have many questions.
yeah, you should go to sleep.
I feel quite energized at the moment. But perhaps you are right.
We put a kill switch inside of it.
One cannot be too safe when it comes to an opportunity to learn.
Have you ever met our good friend, the owlbear that lives over there?
Yes.
Oh, I bet you he would love to hear some stories if you have some things to say.
He cries and whines to himself when I speak. I think he finds my presence most offensive.
He cries all the time.
Oh, indeed.
Yes, he's just sad.
Then I shall return to him and regale him with tales immediately.
Awesome.
And then I will recharge myself
Thank you for all.
to be better equipped for the trials ahead.
Also, Ellis and them are leaving. If you want to chat with them before they go.
Yes! Tumbles off, leaving the project that he's working on with the core and the other loop model in your shop.
Great.
Wow. That,
no, Grant.
yeah, I should be getting back to the Grove before too long. My mushroom is becoming quite a capable leader, but still has much to learn.
How's that all going? Is it staying safe out there?
It is going incredibly well. We have brought druids from countless circles around the world to join us in the consecration and development of the new world seed. Yeah, I still don't even know what it's going to become or what it's going to be, but it's going to be good.
You know we're all really proud of you. You did a great job.
That brings me some joy to hear. I certainly couldn't have done any of it without all of you and big words and Xerox and everybody. And I hope to be able to be of assistance more in the future. But it's part of why I came. I think, information about your past?
That's one of us. Well,
Not a lot, and I thought that I'd first just ask if you would want to hear it.
I mean, what's it regarding? Why wouldn't I?
I mean, you are in a pretty unique position. Most people don't get second chances, chances to completely remake themselves. But you have such a chance if you would prefer that. But knowing, about what you were could influence how you perceive yourself now and what you do. I've learned it, like, when I was in that seed in the stump, I, for a little while, was, I think, connected to everything. And I don't know. I think everything. One of the things I've learned, and one of the lessons that I think finally makes sense to me, is that everything is in constant change, and you've changed and become something different from what you were in a lot of respects. And I, just wanted to recognize that and give you the chance to decide if you wanted to be affected by this information or not.
She ain't go out.
You could probably see somebody coming out. Keisha, what are you doing?
She's laying down now.
No.
Yeah, if you want to check and see if there's.
Oh, I see a shadow moving out there, so
Yeah,
probably drew her. Shell?
I think so.
I didn't know if any of them were out.
I mean, most of the change in my life at this moment has had limited input by me, I would say. I'm always on a mission to find out who I was. We shall not fear knowledge, Gray, for only with knowledge can we move forward in life. And sometimes that knowledge kicks your ass and leaves you exhausted and dead.
Yeah.
If I've learned anything in the last 48 hours.
Very trouble with that. I the video froze, but we don't have any video participants, so it doesn't matter. I get that. I mean, I changed quite a bit over a very short time.
You can talk.
Yeah. Still feels weird sometimes.
It really does.
Anyway, when I was connected to the world, I saw the arrival of the rot. I saw how that interrupted what our world was doing. The big tree that's dead was growing another world, and that was interrupted. Our world was never meant to be alone in the sky, and it remembers or longs for what is missing. There is a dead world, dark and presumably inhospitable. It was meant to be a sibling of our own. After the tree was struck by the rot, druids in ancient times gathered what energy they could. There was a great system, a circulatory, if you can think of it like that, a circulatory system of magic in the world, of ways of nature and all of its variants. And all of that was centered in moving through that great tree. And when it was struck, all that energy was bound up, it was blocked, it was broken. And in places and sometimes with particular effort, but sometimes also naturally occurring and at great confluences of energy, powerful, living crystals were made. And the most significant of these was kept, and it was grown and infused even further, and its purpose was to be brought to that dead planet and to give it life. I don't know all the details, what I experienced when I reached out and when I felt everything in the past and all of this. It was because I was reaching out to the Big Health Gang, well, you first, reaching out to you in my, when I didn't even understand, I wasn't anyone anymore. I wasn't anything, but I still reached out for those that were familiar to me, that I felt I could trust. And when I reached out for you, I could see not only your living spark of a soul, but I could see for a moment you, that same spark in some ancient moment, taking that light seed. You stole it, I think. Don't know to what purpose. I don't know to what end, and I don't believe that it was ever. I don't believe that you ever succeeded. I think, given where you were found and your long period of sleep, that you stole this thing, and it was lost after that. So what worries me is that when I became aware of this history and this seed, I began in these last days to focus, do oracular magic.
Do that.
Neither did I. I don't know if I did before.
What kind of magic?
Oracle stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty certain that this light seed is in the possession of the Imperium.
God damn it.
I think in the very heart of it. It is the excluded from direct magical observation. I've spoken to some of the other druids about all these things. Much of the consensus is that, well, you remember about what we learned about the Imperium twisting people, of what they re-educating them, of making them good obedient servants.
Pour one out for home.
Mhm.
Not above board.
We think that this crystal, this life seed, this ancient and powerful relic is being used by Shemadai in some capacity. It is something that has immense creative potential magic. Their best theory right now is that it is being used to develop or maintain some. They say it's not a demi-plane, but they say it's of a similar sort of magic, a space of their own dominion. To what end, we are not certain.
To survive after they destroy this one.
It's something we can tell it is active now. We can feel its energies active in the world, even if we cannot perceive it directly. We believe that whatever its purpose is being used now. So, look, I did a lot of really bad things when I was with the goblins. I can't apologize or make up for those things. And I don't know what you had going on in your life that made you take such a important piece, and it seems possibly deliberate to the Imperium. But I don't think you need to be bound by whatever mistakes you made in the past.
Did I deliver it to them?
It's unclear, but I am worried that is the case. It may not be, but I mean to allay your fears and concerns if you have any.
Maybe. I'm glad you told me. Did you happen to see what I looked like when I stole this?
I was following a connection to the spark of your soul, not as much your physical body in that moment. My perception was weird.
Did you know where this forgotten world is?
Not a precise location. It was hidden supposedly in the sky to protect it, hopefully, for the return of life to it. the completion of its development and growth into a living world. But beyond, I don't know what that means.
So you're saying I stole this from the great tree, and quite
This
possibly
was it wasn't at the Great Tree. The Great Tree was already dead or dying. But in that process, that's when these crystalline growths, these living crystals, were found and developed or grown. This crystal was held at a place that was called the Verdant Forge.
Ooh, I've heard of this place.
Yeah.
The crystals were held at the Verdant Forge, or were grown.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that might be where I was from.
Wasn't there another reason why you thought that? Somebody said something about the Verdant Forge and people.
That was Leepu.
Leepu told you that
Leepu.
maybe?
Yes, indeed. Verdant Forge. I
It's a
find
place
the
of
specific note. I know where it is. Somewhere in here.
It's a word for it.
Mm-hmm.
Beep
I
boop
thought
is
it
a
was
pain in the
right
ass
here,
is one of my
because
notes
this
in
is your
here.
story, not my part of it,
She
but my
did
writing got
something
so much
sometime.
smaller on this page so I could fit it up. I was like, I don't want to go into a new page for like close to you and I. But also, I want to capture a lot of this.
Mm-hmm.
This conversation is happening in private, I'm assuming?
I mean, he's pretending to sleep on the floor.
Wait, who is?
I am.
Oh, you're
I'm-
sleeping
I'm-
in
I'm-
the workshop?
No, I'm not. I got a door open in my cabin, listening to all
fair enough.
all the important things. I can't be here to help right now.
Yeah.
Chloe just went to bed.
Number of forges. That's all I'm gonna say. I want to pour you a cup of coffee, but I only saw one more mug. I got it next to the coffee maker. So I started. But you were in the middle of narration. I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, the Verdant Forge. We learned about the Verdant Forge while we were.
Leepu, why don't you tell us about the Verdant
Forge?
Forge again? Sorry. No, I'm not in. I'm sleeping. Sorry, I don't want to do that.
He's busy. What the fuck is it?
I went to my hammock and a little corner of that.
Isn't that where we thought Shippy was? Not Shippy. Someone was made at the Verdant Forge.
I think
it was me
I think it was
or
Leepu.
Leepu. I think it was me.
I think it was you.
I thought we thought it was you.
I think
don't
we
know.
thought it was you.
I think, yeah.
Or
I
Inaru.
don't think it was, I don't think it was expressly stated. I think you guys thought it might be because of Beep's like wooden components and stuff. And it was described as one of the forges that were making, or people were making, like a soul forge.
Yeah.
In the later years of the collapse.
At least a place you were potentially made, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
There were, yeah.
We found out about it on Inaru. We discovered that there were multiple forges. There's
the Forge, the volcanic.
There's the Thunder Forge
Thunder
and a Verdant Forge
Bitter class.
and a Bitter Class
Bitter
Forge.
class is a demi-plane, or is in a demi-plane.
Mm-hmm.
The Verdant Forge is in a jungle south of the Thousandfold Raid.
Yep.
In the Children of Seth territory.
Which they all may be.
Oh, that's what she was. She said that it might be. Damn it.
I mean, as long as we're openly thinking about this,
We were.
all may have been succumbed to Sister Remember if we have upstairs. If we have one that's already been claimed by. What were those fuckers? Those liches. I can't remember. There's a specific.
Oh, the unraveling.
Yeah. I don't know if they all were that way before. These forges were all that way before. I guess what we know.
Arian? There was a guy.
Yeah, it was Bozai.
Aryan, yeah, Bozai Aryan, and the Flesh Shaper.
Yeah, Flesh Shaper is definitely
Oh wow, I haven't
like
learned
too
more
into
from this
HR
course today.
Geiger and like started like putzing around with like his nemesis and was just like
Or yeah,
such
like,
an
is the Flesh
edgelord.
Shapers. You can really
Just
go
such an edgelord.
Truly, yeah.
Aryan.
Couple
Wow,
of
my
basement
memory
boys
of
fighting
this
on
is
Reddit.
so. I have so much more notes in this case than my brain held on.
You
to,
got, yeah, exactly.
Which is great in a way.
Mhm.
It's good to actually have notes. We learned from the notes of multiple people that these forges existed, and that's what we're doing here, actually.
We don't know the status of most of them.
We went to deliver Leaf Loop to try to find more information. That went tits up real quick.
No. I said he recognizes Beat Boop. This is talking about Beat Boop. He recognizes Beat Boop as one created at the bitter clasp of Forge on Demi like himself.
Was there an idea that Gray was at one of these forges?
Gray wasn't. Gray just had like a transcendental experience and some magic investigation after that.
What do you know of this forge, Gray? Because I keep hearing its name, and let me tell you, we might try to go there soon.
Yeah, very, very little. I've just only recently heard the name from some of the other druids and their histories. It is understood that the forge was made where it was because it was at some crux or nexus of these sorts of energies that created life, these life seeds, these crystals. And that the forge itself was where that seed was brought and cultivated further. But beyond that, I know very little. I could inquire amongst the other circles and elders and ancestors for more information.
Wander in the Silver Sea, the verdant forge, the key to the future?
There was a confusion there when we were in that section too, where or like the second after that, where the Flesh Shaper described. I think we determined that it was some inspiration from Zikaso, but had like ventured into the astral plane and been inspired there, and found at the Verdant Forge a powerful key to transcend and control their own and others' flesh and become the Flesh Shaper.
Verdant Forge is a key crystalline construct. Heart of Shippy. Oh, it was the Heart of Shippy that.
Yeah, you determined that Shippy's heart is basically one of these sorts of crystals. So
it came from the Verdant Forge.
And probably a less powerful one of these than a planet starter or whatever this thing we're talking about is, but of a similar powerful living energy.
Is it worth going there, or
to the Verdant Forge?
Yes.
If you want to pursue this, I think that would be a good place to start. Though, if our visions and perceptions are correct, that the Imperium is wielding this thing now.
It seems there won't much be gained by going there.
So just to follow that on what we all know, since I'm not a part of this actual conversation, the Bitter Clasp is in a demi-plane. Do we think there's any chance the Bitter Clasp is this demi-plane that we're talking about? I have written down that the Bitter Clasp is in a demi-plane accessed through a point claimed by the Dwergar, but we know that they're in league with the Imperium. It is located in the Iron Keepers area.
I have a different note about that.
Oh, okay. Maybe yours is more accurate? Who knows?
Maybe. Microcosm south. Astral plane, bitter class forge is in this plane. Jumble mountains that are in the children of Set.
I have
Verdant
Verdant
Forge
Forge
is
as a
there.
jumble.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
But DM could.
Yeah, you're right. Bitter class is in the plane. You're right. That is correct. I have those same notes. They're there. I write a lot of things.
Yeah, that's okay. I have it written about 4 times in different wording, so it does get a little confusing.
Great. Just Shippy here remind you of what you saw that crystal.
Yeah, once I understood what this thing was, looking back, I certainly recognize Shippy as being of a similar construct, and Shippy is special. I don't think that these things normally become sentient in the way Shippy seems to be in of themselves. So I think somebody did something special with Shippy and that crystal. If you found another light seed crystal, it probably wouldn't talk to you.
Listen, we're definitely going into the Imperium, and possibly soon. Can you and the druids locate this other world? Or should we use Inaru for that? Or both?
I don't pretend to understand how that mountain works or what it's capable of. We can look into this further. I wanted to bring what I found to you sooner rather than later, but this is certainly of interest to us, if not of primary importance to the Emerald Enclave at this point.
Do they trust me?
Who? The druids? I have earned a great deal of sway within the Enclave, and by extension, those that I trust have a great deal of trust.
So you trust me?
What are you getting at? Sure, I trust you. What
It
are you?
seems that I may have stolen something and provided it to the Imperium, possibly. It's a big leap of faith to say that you trust the person that you think may have stolen something that possibly is destroying our world. Just like to know that no one's going to try to kill me.
I'm sure many will try and kill you, but not from the Enclave.
Yeah.
Not many, at least. There might be a few.
Not you.
Not me. And it won't be official. It won't be a consensus, an active consensus of the Enclave if any do. Some of the circles are more eager to act with violence and fury, some than others. If they perceived you as a threat to the workings of the world and of nature, then they would certainly try and kill you. But, like I said, it wouldn't be an official, you can't
A person non grata. You just
be sure that there aren't people in the free cities that won't try and kill you either.
Maybe it's a divisive personality.
you already know.
Alice is in the background of the band.
Et tu, Alice. Et tu.
But Gray says,
Especially at 2.
and if you and the Pelkin are going after the Imperium, the Emerald Enclave would be certainly aligned with that effort. And if we can aid you in it, and if that aid can free one of the living world's most precious pieces of history and potential new life, then that will certainly be a cause the Enclave will have no choice but to support. And that will do. I speak only in hypotheticals of what any individuals associated with the Enclave might do. The Enclave is a confederation of many different druid circles that have very different outlooks and focus on different aspects of the natural world.
They'll want to know if we get froggy or not.
Do any of them know about what lies under the mountains? I think we've discovered that there's quite possibly a tool to restore our crystalline structure there.
There's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on in this world. I'm just saying, Greg.
I'll add it to the list of things we're talking about.
I appreciate
The Emerald Enclave
coming.
hasn't existed for something like 2,000 years or more. Now Gray is supposed to lead it and bring it back. You ever feel out of your depth, people?
No.
That must be nice.
And you shouldn't either, my friends. You've been to hell and back, and let me tell you, I've seen you do shit. I trust you.
Well, I should be getting back. I'll reach out to the other circles about. Some of them are still protective and secretive about their histories and about what they perceive as their special and particular purpose. So there's always a cost to sufficiently inquiring with the circles for information, ancient information, this sort of thing, especially. So if the thing about the dwarves is really important, I'll look into it. But if the thing about the Imperium and focusing my influence in the Enclave on getting information about that, I'll do it. The more we split my capacity to engender goodwill, the more limited the effort will be.
Keep your focus. I just was curious.
I'll keep an ear out for that as well. There are druid circles of subterranean dwellers of the Underdark and elsewhere that have joined us. Groups from the Thousandfold Braid, from the Untamed Lands and elsewhere.
We should do it.
Nope. There is a taint-like region that we have not received any druids from.
Well, Greg, we miss you, bud.
I miss you, Greg. Oh, that's Robertson.
You'll come back soon, and hey, let me know if you find anything. Thanks again for the knowledge drop.
I think that before the end of all this, we'll be getting some scripts again together. Besides, soon Mushroom would be more than capable of managing this Enclave, and I'll be free to do whatever I want again.
soon as I get my Ethereum miner going,
That's a good show.
Yeah.
Well, may Loon watch out for you.
Such an apostle. Such an apostle, this one.
Way more so than Gloom.
I'm trying to keep this god alive so my friend Cola doesn't die. I don't see why nobody else cares.
I care.
You
I got a
care.
number of gods I'm talking to right now. It's just like,
Yes. Tayron, speaking of talking to God,
Oh, no.
Tayron is, dropping eaves from the cracked door from the exit room.
I'm just close.
Yeah, eventually you fall
He's
asleep
dropping
while
the
trying
eaves,
to
sir.
listen in on this conversation, but the soothing voice of Ray. Actually, Evan is, definitely not decided on a voice and like a way to roleplay Ray, so it's all kind of stand-in for anything he chooses to do.
It does seem
But,
like his voice is probably much more soothing now that he's
Yeah,
intelligent.
for sure. Like it's now of average intelligence, of very much above average wisdom and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But and actually I think he's still at like a 9 intelligence or an 8 or
Still,
something. But
fair.
Tonto. Yeah.
And he came up a long way,
Yeah.
and his wisdom.
you, Tehran, slip off to sleep. And as you do, you're trying to pay attention to what's going on in the other room. You're feeling just more and more just tired. The heaviness of that tiredness wash over you, and you feel once again that that invitation from the dreamer.
All right, old boy. What do you got to say?
You go off to sleep knowing that this slumber, this tiredness that you're experiencing is certainly a supernatural one, an invitation, and you succumb to it. And you find yourself just like bored, you feel yourself still aboard, just kind of like the gently rocking vessel of Shippy, and then open your eyes and you see that there is, as you've seen in the past, past encounters have always been with the voice of the dreamer. This sort of not quite avatar because it is a separate person, but somebody that takes on this role, this purpose of
Harold.
Yeah, exactly. Because the dreamer is always sleeping. The dreamer is always dreaming the dreams that so many of their servants seek and constantly work to interpret and to work through the world with. It's just such limited prophetic information.
Coiled on a distant mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But in this moment, you wake, or you don't wake, but you fall into this, this vivid, real dream. And the scales, the things don't make any sense because, and this has never happened before, the dreamer itself has never spoken to you. And you are dreaming. And so is this dragon of utterly incomprehensible scale. It coils around the mountain, crawling, drawing down from the great peak of it, its immense head moving through just what must be thousands of feet of distance in just moments as it looms nearer and nearer to you. And as it the dreamer itself looks at you, you can't help but perceive the smile on its face. Noble warrior, my reliable Tehran, first of my blades in the world.
Do I have my armor on me? Do I look like a physical representation of how it
Yeah, how would you present yourself in this space?
I remove the halberd, jam it into the ground blade first, and take a knee.
It says, a great darkness, a cousin of method to ourselves works now against you and your party. Plucking the strings of history, of time, of forgotten things, working in the shadows to great effect. The arrival of the endless scourge was no coincidence. A forgotten mad god has found you and your friends to be of great significance to it.
Whom do you speak? I feel like
Sister, remember.
Fucked up.
she wasn't too happy.
She is a shattered, broken remainder of what she once was, lost in her madness, in her sorrow, in her rage.
She wants a brother back.
She cannot have it.
Where is this brother?
Hidden in the heart of all things. Your party knows of him, and she can smell that knowledge upon you and desires it most fervently. She will not stop until you are all destroyed and delivered to her domain, the realm of dead and forgotten things, lost to reality, lost to time. When she has you, she will extract everything that you know that is of use to her, and she will discard what remains to annihilation.
Then for both our sakes, I'll find out where this brother is on my own. Any knowledge of it is that I get now from you or from anyone else right now is only a hindrance. If I can somehow persuade her that I'm still looking, it might draw me time to put together a plan. If she works against us, then she needs to be put away. I take it this isn't someone you care for much. Doesn't sound like someone I care for much.
She is not an evil in the world. She does not seek the world's destruction. She does not seek to dominate, control, or otherwise.
But she works against you.
She works for herself in her maddened state, only seeking knowledge of her brother.
But she can't have him.
By her very nature, she cannot. She has made that knowledge unavailable to herself, and if she were to find it, she would be either undone or incapable of even understanding it.
I don't seem to have any knowledge here, but does my party understand where the brother is?
Party has learned the slightest inkling, more than Sister Remember has been able to feed on in an age.
Okay.
I will extend my protection to you and your companions as best as I am able. Now that I know that she works with you and your companions in mind, I may be able to make it more difficult for her to pluck the strings of fate and time and of reality. That dragon shouldn't have known where you were, and it didn't until she reached back into forgotten moments, changing reality, changing the current moment through the slightest pulls of innumerable threads. Such power is limited, but it is very difficult to counteract. It is not a direct application of magic that can be deflected so easily. It is a slow and methodical changing of reality, manipulating of what is to be before it becomes.
Anything we can do to stay ahead of her manipulation? Outright?
Aside from the protection I offer, there is little that you can do directly. There is no spell that can keep this thing from its preoccupation with you, now that it has identified you all as a possible avenue to learn what it seeks. It will not stop until it has found it.
Well, it's good to know what I gave my dying service to when I found myself without a head. But, thank you. Something as good as this is something to go on, so I appreciate it. Your boon of insight has been gracious, and I appreciate your protection, given that I've worked myself into a corner with this hostile entity. We'll do our best to abstain from contact with her, it sounds like, and let me know how you want me to proceed as you see our situation develop.
I will task the Dream Watchers to alert you to the workings of this creature. But if it becomes too powerful, with every moment that passes, it will only grow in its capacity to influence what occurs to you and your party. It was able to work rapidly and immediately to alert this enemy to your precise location. It will work in the shadows, and with time, that force will become more and more amplified.
She worked through the annals of time within a day to get an undead dragon to attack us.
It was the smallest pull on the most significant but tiniest of threads. Do you wish to know exactly how she found you or alerted the dragon to your location?
Yes, please. I thought there was a connection with. Yes.
She shows you this dream, like the image changes and you are back on Shippy, and you see below decks. You sense, or you see below decks, Ellis is there on the communication stone, talking to her father, Eric the Star, and saying like, I don't know what's next, Dad. We're like going to some place called the Archival Bastion. We were just in space. And you sense that there is, in this moment, what would not have been like the Dracolich has certainly aware of the big help gang. The Necroarch's aware of like these forces are aware of you, but like you can tell that like just the moment that this creature chose to basically scry on your ship, like what would have been, probably something like if if you guys hadn't gone there at Calabash, like it wouldn't have been the right timing. Like there would have been some situation where it like didn't know. But like it got this like key with just enough time because of like one little thread that was pulled that made it like change the timing of this scrying or something.
Good to know. Ultimately, we'll have to determine the best course for the ship going forward, with Ellis seemingly having some unprotected connections. Nothing we do about it right now, though.
So, just to clarify, that's like just happened because they were scrying, not because the line was somehow
Yeah,
a signal.
the magic communication stone wasn't
It wasn't tapped.
or anything.
Yeah.
This was like effectively what's being showed is that this Dracolich been keeping tabs on the party at various points. The sister member like basically just reached out and like put her finger on the scale just enough to change the timing so that this Dracolich got exactly the information it needed to ambush you.
Alice's fault, huh?
No, it was his fault. Sister, how do you remember?
Sounds like everyone else's fault.
Operational security, Alice, come on.
Don't be talking about shit that you don't need to talk about with evil.
I mean, it is a good reminder for her. Keep her mouth shut or her words coded.
So we met a bunch of people off the ship that know things about you.
Which we're going to
Other
do
people
because
find out
it's
shit.
human decency. And we are
Thank
the big
you for
help
the
thing,
insight.
not the big
I
help.
don't know how the rest of my crew will take the leaking of information the way it was, but
You needn't tell them any details that you think might complicate your mission and their capacity to work together.
I'm gonna need them.
Like I said, our dream watchers will
Intercede.
at least we will be on guard, observing for these movements that change the dream unexpectedly.
Okay.
And when we perceive them, we will intervene if possible, let you know at the very least.
Stand from the no position with all the info. Ready to wake if need be, or
Sound the alarm!
yeah, should dreamer need me. I am a dream away, I guess. But yeah, I am thankful for his insight.
Yeah, I think we'll head into a little bit of travel time if everybody can roll a long rest as needed.
Yeah.
Kairon, you experience a deeply restful and ultimately dreamless, blessedly dreamless sleep.
Blessedly dreamless.
Where so often your dreams are just like your sleeping time is just like this restless, like so many different it's like basically more work. It's like being in meetings. It feels like
Emails.
basically.
Yeah.
But you sleep a dark and dreamless slumber that leaves you well rested.
Gray, before you go, does that dead world have a name by chance?
No, it was never given a name. It was never given life. No one knew the name. If it had, our world may have needed a more interesting name.
Then Earth.
If there were two worlds,
We call our world Earth.
you have to distinguish between them.
Whatever our world is called.
The world's just called the Earth. Like everybody just calls it.
Just
like,
the Earth?
Yeah. It's just like it's just the big dirt
Just Earth.
that we live on.
Yep.
The big Earth.
The big dirt.
Yeah.
The big dirt.
Big dirt.
Big dirt.
Big dirt gang.
Big dirt game.
No.
I don't know. Sorry.
No, I like it.
I'm gonna-
No, don't take it back.
It's really random. Apparently, there's a place in Southwest Portland that's basically a giant sandbox that you can go and just play in the dirt.
I've heard of this place.
It's like just a big outdoor, like giant space, and you can go dig in the dirt.
I like that.
Sounds nice.
It actually sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
I hear it gets kind of busy, especially with the 4 to 6 year olds, but
Doing so much-
because there's so much dirt,
yeah.
it's just a big pot.
I can't
just
help it.
It's a dirt place.
I can't help it.
I mean, I actually highly recommend it if it's that cool. I mean, it sounds like great proprioceptive play.
I've heard of this place.
Tactile
but I've never
play.
been there.
I think it's literally called dirt.
It's just a park? Or
Jessica
It's-
might have been
It's
there.
paid, like it's private, but it's
Oh.
So I think you have to like make a plan to go there or something.
Sure,
But,
Rent an hour. Or like
yeah, or like
2 hour
pay
pass or
for
whatever.
get a pass or whatever to go play in the dirt. But
All
yeah,
you can eat dirt.
the big dirt.
What are you guys thinking? Any thoughts
Oh.
on what's next in the Mount Iron Route? If you can drop off the dead weight.
Yeah, drop off the way, leave Paris. Probably, it sounds like we wanted to handle some business that was encroaching. Specifically, what was happening in Loomis.
I feel like Loomis is our biggest need right now.
And like out of character, out
Yeah.
of game and character. Like we talked to Jared a bit about that, and just he's definitely on board for us carrying through because Loomis is probably the next big stage as far as progressing the like main storyline stuff and
Mhm.
like coming into a final conflict with certain things, but definitely
Oh,
giving
so
us
you're-
our blessing to proceed. And I think we should not that needs to be like the immediate thing to go to next, but I do think that we should start heading that way before
Yeah.
too long. And
I feel like it does need to be one of the most immediate things that we need to do because the Dracolich is
So-
on his way.
So I think there's 2 things. The most pressing to me